The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on display, I haters old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack, this like no Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
Before we start the show, we want to thank our sponsors, Pillars. Pillars is the best clothing line in the Chicagoland area. If you're looking for a dope hoodie, a sweatsuit, shirts, shoes, or even stuff for your kids, Pillars is where you should go. You can visit any of their 4 store locations in the Chicagoland area or visit pillarsclub.co and order online. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. It is Friday, March 1st, 2023. The rent is due, unfortunately. It's time for you to dig out there and do what I did today, and that is be very light in the pockets. Pay the rent. We are here for another edition of the show. I am your boy, Scott. You know to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BarbChairScott. Of course, you can follow the Barbers Chat Network at BarbersChatNet on Twitter and Instagram. Follow our partners, H&B Media, at H&B Media TV on Twitter and at H&B Media on Instagram. And, of course, you can get in tune with our sponsors, Pillars. You can visit pillarsclub.co right now, or you can also go visit their Instagram at pillars_club. And, of course, you can, get all your clothes and shoes over there, man. Get in tune with everything they've got going on. You can visit any of their 4 stores in the Chicagoland area, man. And, of course, you need to subscribe right now. Subscribe. Like, leave a comment, even if you want to call us dumb as hell. Whatever you want to do, we appreciate each and all the contributions you bring to the show. We have got a super packed show here today. We're going to bring in our guest, Jonathan Hood, in just a minute. We've got a special edition of Cousin Dan, the homie Pavy will be joining in. Of course, the homie Mike Will, who's been joining us each and every week. As far as our Pillar sponsorship, man, and we're gonna give y'all insight into what it's like at holidays in my mother's house, where my cousin is yelling ridiculous takes about Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and shit that just don't make sense. So we're gonna have a special edition of that to end the show. And also, we're going to have a little bit of baseball talk. Courtney is not here today. She's a little bit under the weather, so we hope Courtney gets better. But Mikey, Dante, and the homie Mike Willis will be holding y'all down with the baseball talk today. So we've got a super packed show. So before we get into that, let's start with my sound off. My sound off there, I got a 2-part sound off for y'all today. 2 things that are like some stuff that's really been like, on my heart, man. It's like I feel like I'm gonna call this the 2 sides of Scott. We got one that you wouldn't expect and one that you would expect. Let's go with what you would expect. Chicago Bears fans, I want you to look me in the eye right now. Let it go. I understand we love Justin. I understand. I remember the day when he got drafted in April. I wasn't even watching majority of the draft because I just knew that the Bears weren't going to get anything worth a damn. I think they had the 20th pick. I remember that day was all surrounded by, that was when Aaron Rodgers originally said he wanted to be out. And then we heard there was going to be a trade up. It was going to be a trade up. And then, once I read on my phone, I saw Brad Biggs tweeted it, the Bears select with the number 13th pick, quarterback from Ohio State, Justin Fields. I blacked out. I was extremely happy. My brother was happy. Obviously, he's an Ohio State Buckeye fan. He was happy for multiple reasons. I have been a fan of Justin ever since seeing him on QB1 on Netflix. And I was just excited. And I thought he was going to be the QB of the future. And, a lot of stuff that happened that wasn't in his control. He set up for failure the minute he stepped on that field. That first game he started in Cleveland, in the dog pound when he got sacked like 10 times. To me, it looked like that game that Jay Cutler had against the Giants. I think it was like the 2010 or 2011 season where they set a record for sacking him. And it kind of felt the same way. And we've gone through a lot of ups and downs with him over the last 3 seasons. And I feel for him. He was given a shit hand. I do feel like there's some things he could have done better. I don't think Justin is exempt from his play and things like that. And I understand Bears fans don't want to let go of him. Even on a grander scale, Chicago sports fans, we get very attached to players. I remember 8 years ago when it was very obvious to me and other people that had eyes that Derrick Rose wasn't going to be the guy that he used to be. And I told people it's time to let him go and to try to build around Jimmy Butler. And I got called every name in the book. And it's not because I didn't love Derrick. I'm a big Derrick fan. But I just knew he wasn't going to get to that height anymore, and we had to move on. They moved on. He went to the Knicks. They eventually didn't build around Jimmy Butler, which they should have, but I'm not going to argue about that for the 50th fucking time. And he, since then, has gone to 2 NBA Finals appearances, and we see just how great of a player he's become. So it's hard to move on. But I'm telling you, for your own sake, Bears fans, it's time to move on. It's time to accept the new change, which is apparent every day that is going to be Caleb Williams, who's going to be the new franchise quarterback of the Chicago Bears. If you're a true Bears fan, you need to dig in and root for the kid and get ready for this new era of Chicago Bears football. Am I saying he's going to be great? Who fucking knows? Rookie quarterbacks are a toss-up. They're toss-up. I don't know, but this is one of the best positions, definitely the best position this team's ever been in since I've been a fan of the team. And I just need y'all to accept it and move the hell on. I saw stuff on my timeline. People's all, if he goes to the Lions, to the Lions for the Falcons, I'm rooting for them. He's going to make the Bears look foolish. Look, man, I care about the jersey. You know what I'm saying? If my mama went to another team, I'm still rooting for the damn Bears. That's where my loyalty lies at. So, yes, I hope he goes to another team and he does all the great things. But I saw a couple of y'all saying if he plays the Bears, oh, I hope he beats the Bears. Get your tongue out his butt. Like, at the end of the day, what are we doing, bro? If the Bears, let's say he goes to Falcons. He goes to Falcons, right? You play the Falcons and the Bears meet the playoffs. I'll bet 3D his ass to a table. Like, I ain't got time for none of that splitting loyalty shit. So I just want y'all to accept it and move the hell on. That's both. I think both sides are extreme, as we'll get into in a minute. But I just need Bears fans to take this opportunity, have a come to Jesus moment, and know it's gonna be okay. Is it fucked up the way it happened? Yes. But in the words of the immortal Avon Barksdale, the game is the game always. So that's part 1 of my sound off. Part 2 is actually gonna shock y'all. I think what's the word I can say? I was a proud class of the LeBron James hater class of 2002. I've been in the trenches with my LeBron hate. In the trenches. I did not like that dude when he was in high school. And I have gotten to a point where, you know how everybody says, oh, you gotta appreciate him. I've gotten to that point. If you feel that LeBron James is the greatest player to ever pick up the basketball, I'm not going to argue. Do I think you're wrong? 100%. But I don't think it's an asinine debate as I once thought it was. And I had the opportunity. I've seen LeBron James play 6-7 times in my life in person. But this past Wednesday, seeing him in person, Lakers-Clippers, the last Lakers-Clippers game with them sharing a stadium. And what I saw was special, man. And there's certain things when you see great players have these moments. I saw Steph Curry drop 50 points in Staples Center last year against the Clippers. You know, I've seen, these big moments. But to see LeBron have the biggest comeback in his career in one game, outscoring the Clippers by more than one, was just crazy. I've never seen anything like that in person. And now he's 9 points away from being the first player in NBA history to have 40,000 points. Now, when it comes to different legacies, I think that he'll never cross Jordan in my book. But one thing he's going to have over Jordan, and what's special for his own legacy, is there's no player in the history game who's done as long as he has and done it as well as he has. The fact that he's playing this well at this age and having 40,000, even though we have a big offensive game now, I don't think anybody's passing that. I think he's going to play a couple more years. He's going to make that record unattainable, just the same way as Steph Curry is going to make that three-point record unattainable. And as somebody who has hated that man for 20 years, I am finally at a point where I can say I can appreciate what he's done for the game of basketball and what he's done. And that performance right there just kind of like sealed it for me, which is funny because it's a regular-ass performance in February against a team that was missing 2 starters, and they're the fucking 9th seed. But it was just something about it that was entertaining, man. So that is my sound off. Move away from Justin. And I've actually have gotten to the point where I can appreciate watching LeBron James play basketball. Now, we're going to bring in our team. We've got Dante, we got JR Bang, we've got Mikey. Of course, you can follow the one and only JR Bang at JR Bang on all social media platforms. You can follow Mikey at Junior_Solito. And of course, you follow Dante at October Zone Tay on Twitter. He is fighting a cup in the background. He is the co-producer of this show and also president of the Barbershop Network and our resident Morehouse, man. How y'all brothers doing today?
Hey, I'm glad you joined us in reality and just accepting that LeBron James is an amazing basketball player.
First of all, I never said he wasn't an amazing basketball player.
No, brother, it was a couple weeks ago. You came up with a topic out of left field that was so crazy. It was just like a way to stab at LeBron.
What did Bang say? Content is king.
I said Scott still got it in him. That hate still in him.
It's still in there. It's still in there. You can appreciate something and still be in there. By the end of this show, when my punk ass cousin come on here, I guarantee you I'll be calling him the worst number 23 to ever play a jersey. I guarantee you he's gonna drive me there. I can almost guarantee you he's gonna drive me there. And by the end of this fucking show. But how the rest of y'all, Mikey, Bang, how y'all feeling, man?
I'm doing great right now. I can't wait to say hello to our guest today. After what I just said.
Well, let's just bring him in now, man. Yeah. We've got a special guest, man. I can say definitely this man is a friend of the program. If you are in Chicago and you don't know who this guy is, you must be living under a fucking rock. This is Jonathan Hood, co-host of the Captain J Hood Morning Show. ESPN 1000, Chicago sports legend, man. I told him this when you came on my show last year. We did my interview show. I said, I've been listening to you since I was in college. There would be times when I was at Columbia where I was, just be in those, the dorm, not dorm, like the little library office on Wabash. I would listen to you guys. I would listen to it was you and JD. You and JD had a show. I was listening to Carmen, Yurko, and Harry, Waddle, and Sylvie. Like, I would literally just be in there because I was the idiot who booked classes with 5-hour gaps, so I had to stay on campus and find stuff to do. And I'll be listening to the ESPN Chicago stream on there. But we got the one and only Jonathan Hood in the building, man. Jay Hood, how you feeling?
Thank you so much. I'm feeling great, man. It's Friday. It's been a long week. Anytime we got to talk about Caleb Williams and Justin Fields, every day is a long day.
Every day is a long week. We were just talking about that before we got on. Bang's favorite phrase is content is king. I'm like, yeah, but y'all stretching it now. Like we stretching it right now. Like how far are we gonna go with this? And that's pretty much where I'm at with it.
Yeah, we are losing our minds because think about it. You laid out your thoughts about Derrick Rose. You talked about other things on this show in Chicago sports history. But when you think about everything that's been going on this offseason about Justin Fields, there is a clear divide between Justin Fields fans and Bears fans because there's a big difference between the two. Yeah. Big difference between the two. And, I just thought that Bears fans would just be Bears. That's not the case, though, because there's so much of an emotional investment in Justin Fields. And I get it. I completely understand why, because I remember at the time, it's kind of what Eddie Jackson said when he was watching it live, and he was like, "Oh, we finally got ourselves a real black." Yeah. Right? He was saying that it went viral, right? And so I get that. I understand that. But here's the thing. A good general manager knows how to unplug an asset too early than too late. And if the Bears decide to keep Justin Fields and it doesn't work out, then what's next? It's hard to pass up on the quarterback class twice. That's all I'm saying. Last year, people are still mad at the Bears because they didn't take C.J. Stroud. I'm going to tell you that the Bears would have taken Bryce Young because that was the consensus number one pick. Everyone says, "Oh, the Bears passed up on C.J. Stroud." I'm like, well, a number of teams did that were thinking, "No, he's too small. He's not the right guy." I'm telling you that the Bears probably would have taken Bryce Young, and I'm glad they didn't. So now, the quarterback class again, hard to pass up on it twice.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. You hit the nail on the head with that, man. I feel that with this particular situation, when it comes to with Justin, and maybe it's just me, I'm easier to pull away from things. Like, I don't have that much emotional attachment to things when it comes to some stuff that I want. Like, I can easily move across from emotion, which my mother tells me, which she said, you gotta be more of a people person sometimes. You can just cut stuff off easily. If somebody does something wrong to you, they did. I'm like, yeah, that's true. But so I can easily switch. Like, I love Justin. I wish him respect. I hope he do his thing. But I want the Bears to win a Super Bowl in whichever way. It looks like that's the Caleb Williams way. That's the one way I'm going. So maybe it's easier for me, and I just don't understand why people are still harping over spilled milk at this point. Yeah, he was done wrong. Like, he was put in a shit situation. There's nothing you can do about it right now. And then I also say, if you're Ryan Poles, are you willing to bet your job on it? As a black man, as it's hard to get a general manager job as a black man to begin with. If he messes this up, he will never get another job again. And I've always said, if Justin Fields was as good as Bears fans say he is in their heads, we wouldn't be in this conversation.
Yeah,
like he's Dan Marino in hypothetical set situations, and that's all that.
You know, it's so funny. You talk about what's on your timeline and people hitting you about Justin Fields. Here's something that you have not had to deal with that I had to deal with, is that if the Bears trade Justin Fields, that Ryan Poles and me are racist. Yeah, you got that. You got that.
I got that. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, how about no, we don't have to go all that deep. Like they're gonna choose Caleb Williams over like Justin Fields. So yeah, it's a choice as far as looking at the quarterback and saying, Justin, we know we didn't do you right. We know we didn't, because we tanked to get to 3 wins. We got better with DJ Moore with 7 wins, and now we're not going to pay you $40 million. That's the thing that's not talked about enough. This quarterback, in the next couple years, you're going to see quarterbacks making $50 million a year. Yep. Mediocre, average-ass quarterbacks going to be making $50 million a year. And that might be Jordan Love. That might be Kirk Cousins again. That could be that. You know, Kyler Murray already was able to strike with a big-time contract with Arizona. What I'm saying is that because of the TV money and the amount of money that now teams have a chance to spend, yeah, we're going to see quarterbacks that are not that good be in excess of $50+ million. And the Bears didn't want to do that. And also they looked at the young man and said, Justin, you're good, but you still don't have a hard time reading defenses. We'd rather restart the clock and go with what we think is a short thing in Caleb Williams, and then supply the young quarterback with talent. You may a draft pick at wide receiver. We already got DJ Moore, a better offensive line, new offensive coordinator, and let's roll.
Yeah, and I had a question for you where it's like, I feel like the thing about this is, you guys, you I feel like on the radio, on Chicago Sports Radio, you get the most, I think, craziest callers. What's like through this whole little thing that's been going on since the Bears officially got, the first draft pick? Has it been as dismissive on the radio as it is on Twitter? Like, what is like kind of like the feel as you've been going through this every day hosting the show?
It's like, Scott, it's like 70-30 people understand. But that 30% are the 30% that don't watch college football, that saw the one game with USC against Notre Dame and then made their opinion of Caleb Williams, because we know that USC is not very good defensively. And also Caleb Williams didn't have a great game. So they watched the one game and said, nope, that's it. That guy can't play quarterback based on one game just because the game took place in the Midwest, which is ridiculous. Look, I'm not asking for our listeners and for our fans to sit down like I do every Saturday and watch college football and consume it from 11 a.m. until the Hawaii game is over. That's what I do because I love college football. But the one thing is that with the Google search, with a YouTube search, you can be able to see all the highlights of all the quarterbacks and all the players that you need to. To say that you saw one game and said, "Now Caleb Williams is trash," is nonsense to me. That ignorance I won't stand for. But the other side of it is that people just look at Justin. They love Justin. And I totally understand why they would, though. Just remember how we felt when he was drafted. And we understood what the process was. Ryan Poles put his balls on the table to George McCaskey and said, yeah, I'll generally manage your team, but I'm going to tear it down. Like, the Bears have never done that, guys. The Bears have never said, we're going to tear it all the way down to the bottom and tank and then build it back up. How do I know that? Because if you're a longtime Bears fan, you've seen 3-win teams, 4-win teams, 5-win teams, and just use patchwork. Like, we'll just throw money at the situation. Just find a veteran quarterback here. find a hot defensive lineman here, find an offensive lineman there, and just kind of do it with patchwork. This is tearing it down to the bottom. Ryan Poles somehow told George, yeah, I like your veterans, but we're going to tear this down. We've never seen this before. And so I think it's an adjustment for everybody that the Bears tanked the way they did, like other teams do. They've never seen a situation where a quarterback seems like he's on the rise, and then they are pretty much getting rid of him for a rookie quarterback. So it's all new. People do not like change. I get that. Yeah. But I'm saying that because this is all new for the Bears, I'm for it because it's a different avenue that we haven't seen the Bears go through before. Tearing it down, going with a rookie quarterback, and try to supply him with enough veteran talent and free agent talent. And the other thing, don't forget the Bears are on over $70-80 million in salary cap space. So they're not cheap. They will spend money to fill up those holes. So this is all new for Bears fans. And it's an
yeah, and I'm glad. Yeah, the adjustment is a good point because I also feel like when it comes to like I know I say this in a group chat we have all the time. I'll be like, as I told Mikey this morning, we got to baptize you in optimism, like optimism. I'm just an optimistic person, so I'm more of a glass half full guy with everything. But I understand why Bears fans are so doom and gloom. But I also look at it as like, I feel like Bears fans should look at this as an opportunity because as my brother told me this morning, you can't get lower than hell. So it's really only higher than this. Like in my mind, it can't get worse. From the amount of football I done watched over the last 25 years, it can't get worse than what I saw. So I think the only way up is the way you should be looking at it. What do you think it's going to take for Bears fans? Do you think it's going to take a full season of Caleb for them to be like, okay, I feel like we're on the right track?
Well, first of all, let me just say, I know that we might have some new viewers checking out the network for the first time. First of all, what you said is bullshit. It sounds good as a nice setup question, but we all know that's bullshit because I watch every week. So the idea that you're saying you're optimistic, half glass full, really, Scott?
I'm an optimistic person. When have I ever not been an optimistic person on this show?
Thank you.
It's on this show. Wait, what?
It's a CBS
in life.
CBS receipts. What are you talking about? You know when you go there just to get a pack of condoms or just to get some medicine, all of a sudden the receipt's like this. It's like that's you. What? You were optimistic. That sounds good because I know there's ESPN people that's in the chat now that's checking it out. Yeah. I'm optimistic.
No, you ain't.
What?
I know for a fact you ain't. Now you're trying to be optimistic because of the world we live in right now.
Yes.
You know damn well you ain't.
I'm an optimistic person. I think I'm an optimistic person. And somebody called me Scott Cowherd. All right, yeah, fuck you. All right.
And Scott, I also, you know what, Scott? I understand where we at in the world. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Rachel Dozier. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, all right.
You're trans.
We a day out of Black History Month, and this is it. With blood still wet on the streets. This is where you decide to go.
You're trans optimistic. That's what you are. You're trans optimistic.
Trans optimistic is crazy.
Look, man. I know that now this show is being aggregated. I know that more and more people are watching because of the Bears content, but you can't tell me that you're just like pie in the sky Bears fan. I know that's not true.
Not in my entire time, but I feel like this time I'm an optimistic Bears fan.
Yeah, the last 6 months.
What it is?
48 hours. What are y'all talking about? It was
right.
No, it's not last 48 hours.
This just happened, bro. Like all the Caleb talk, bro.
That's what it is, J Hood. Caleb was giving him that everything he needed. Now he's drinking the Kool-Aid. He's optimistic. he's thinking division. He saw Caleb go up there with no lining and the little baby fro. He's thinking MVP. He's thinking MVP year one.
I got the no line and baby fro right now. We both got the whole fro right now. We locked in. I ain't got a haircut in 3 months. We locked in.
Sound good.
But I like talk about adjustment. The way he took that podium today.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna rub some people the wrong way. Confident, chip on the shoulder, just like, yeah, you know what? I know that all 32 teams are not gonna draft me. I'll show the medicals for the teams that's gonna draft me, meaning the Bears. He's changing the game big time. And it already makes people nervous, by the way, because Cosby came in, it's like, oh, he paints his nails and he cries to his mom and he's emotional and all this stuff. They try to find a way to knock that young dude just because he's not Justin Fields. But that narrative will change if, first of all, he's drafted by the Bears, and secondly, he balls out.
Well, let's just talk about the press conference in particular, as Mikey said. So Mikey basically comparing me to a woman who's been out with a couple of days. Like, oh yeah, I think he good. Like he didn't open the door. You know what I'm saying? He said, hold on. I gotta address this comment. Scott turns his back on the Sox and Bulls suddenly in sunshine. Okay, first of all, Timothy, you damn right I turned my back on the Sox, and y'all can't. I have no type of what's the word? Shame for that. I don't turn my back on the Bulls. I just don't pay attention to them. Like I tell you, the Bulls like your little kid in the room playing like the remote, and you don't really pay attention to them until like they might burn something. Like they still in the room. You know what I'm saying? I ain't turn my back. I'm never turn my back on the Bulls. I'm just not paying attention to them. The White Sox, I unfollowed them on Instagram, all that. I'm done. Okay. Until certain things happen that I will not say on this show, I am done.
That sounds cowardly.
It is what it is. It is. I'm running from the grind. What Dame say? I'm running from the damn grind. But to get back to Caleb, he's very PR'd up. I got to give a salute to this PR team. All the things that I wanted to hear, Bears fans wanted to hear, I think he did pretty well on that. But I do love how you said Jay Hood. It feels like he's a disruptor, which I feel this city of Chicago needs. I feel like the Bears organization needs, because they're too mom and pop. And I feel like there's some stuff that rubbed people the wrong way. But to me, the thing that stood out the most is when they brought up the quarterback history. And he's like, I'm not worried about anybody else. I'm worried about myself, which I think we've all said on this show that the Bears QB history, as bad as it is, I don't think they've really ever had an opportunity like they have right now to build a quarterback. Even with the Justin situation, that was from our prior front office. So I liked what he said about that. Jay Hill, what was your overall opinion of what you heard and things that you might think might rub the Chicago media the wrong way?
Oh, I just think that that he's very confident, and I think that that's a good trait. That's number one. You have to be confident, first of all, in this city, and then on top of that, at the quarterback position. Just the idea that when he says that I'm not going to show my medicals and I'm not going to work out in for everybody, I'm not going to be in the underwear Olympics in Indianapolis showing everybody what I can do. He understands that it comes down to one team, and that's the Chicago Bears. At the very minimum, two with Washington, but ultimately that's on him. If the medicals are clean, he's going to be a Chicago Bears quarterback. So I just liked his, poise. I think we have to mention a couple things. One, with him being at USC really is the pro team in LA. Scott, you're there, and I know that there's not a lot of Rams talk and a lot of Chargers talk in LA. The thing that matters the most in Los Angeles is the Lakers. It's one. But USC really is their pro team. And so because Caleb Williams is around a lot of media for USC, he's used to being able to handle the media. He's asked tough questions because that's how it runs in Los Angeles. They go to USC games, home and road, and they ask all the tough questions, and Caleb is able to knock them out because I've seen him in the press conferences. That's one thing. The second thing is, I'm going to call this out now on March 1st. I'm going to say it right. What I need for everybody, media and fans, this show and the shows that I host as well, is to give Caleb Williams grace. That same energy that everybody gives to the offensive coordinator, like when the team doesn't do well. Also, it's not on Justin. It's on Luke Getsy. It's not on this person. It's on Mike Tice. It's on this. Okay, fine. It's always on the offensive coordinator, never the player. My hope is that just because Caleb Williams is a quarterback, that they don't just pile on him if it doesn't work in the first year, because there's going to be a growing curve. There's going to be a learning curve for any rookie quarterback in the NFL. I hope everybody has the same energy going after Shane Waldron if the team is not doing well offensively, because that's how it always works. It's never the player. It's always LC. You got to change the offensive coordinator. Cutler had 15 offensive coordinators. You can never get it right. So my hope is that people will give the same grace that Justin got early to Caleb Williams here, because one thing for sure, I'm not hoping that the Bears fall short or they underachieve, but what I'm saying is that for any young quarterback, it's an adjustment from college to pro. And with Shane Waldron, it don't mean necessarily that he's the guy. We don't even know that either. But hopefully the offense and the weapons all work together, that the Bears have like a CJ Stroud, Houston type of scenario next year. That's the hope.
All right, so what does these expectations look like, though? You got a team that he even said, that the Bears, the Bears come in as a 7-10 team. I've said that the media, national media, I've told you, the national media is talking about the Bears like they were 3-14. No, they were 7-10. They did start off bad, but they finished the year strong until they went into Green Bay. They were about a minute and a half of being 10-7 because of the losses. Three of the losses that they had were really at the last second. But Caleb knows what team he's coming into, a team that has a pretty decent defense. You have DJ Moore, you have Cole Kmet. You need some help in some other areas, but he seems to know what he's getting himself into if he takes the field with the Bears. So what does the expectations look like or should look like with him at the helm?
Well, for me, the Bears are still the fourth team in the NFC North until we see otherwise. Because Detroit, they may take a little bit of a step back, bang, but I mean they could still win the division. Green Bay is Green Bay because even with Jordan Love, the offense was working, the defense was solid. As a matter of fact, I can make the case that Matt LaFleur probably feels more comfortable with Jordan Love because Jordan's like, yep, whatever you need. He doesn't have that pushback he had from Aaron Rodgers. So that was a surprise, I think, to all of us that Jordan Love was able to step right in there and do it. Then there's the Vikings. And that's kind of the great unknown, where that could be a 7 or 8 win ball club, depending on if Cousins and Jefferson are back, or if they make a change and they try to upgrade, maybe take a step back and then move forward. So my thinking, I don't have an official prediction just as of yet because I don't know what the Bears are doing in free agency, but the expectation is to take another step. If that means 8 wins, maybe the playoffs, maybe not. But I expect this team to be anywhere between 6 and 8 wins again. And I use that little movement, that 6 to 8, because of the adjustment on the offense. Because I think the defense will be stronger. We saw shades of it when Sweat got here. They're going to be able to get a 3 technique and get better defensively. They're going to take care of Jalen Johnson. That won't be a problem. The linebackers in the secondary are the strongest parts of the team to me. They'll get better on the defensive line. They need to be able to have a center like yesterday and look at that and then move forward. So I would say that 6 to 8 for me. Some already have them in the playoffs, but I can't say that because I don't know what else the Bears are going to do on the other side of DJ Moore. Are you getting a veteran wide receiver, or are you getting a rookie wide receiver with a 9 pick? I mean, again, time will tell on all that, but it feels like for me, bang, like 6 to 8 at this point in time.
Before we get to my next question for you, I want to shout out these 2 questions we got in the chat. Shout out to Ron. He says, shout out to you fellas coming to term with Caleb as our new QB. What do we think of word of Jaden Daniels trading up? Could we see the Bears trading back and scooping Jaden Daniels, keeping Justin Fields? Ron, I have a better chance of Maya Jama responding to my DMs on Twitter, on Instagram. So I just want you to let that, but we appreciate you watching. Tim A says, J Hood, is it your opinion that any potential trade with Washington is all smoke? J Hood, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's not happening. I know the connection because that's where Caleb is from, the Washington, D.C. area. That's not happening. It's funny. There's so many people, so many cats in our business that want to be contrarian because they want to stand out. They want to stand out. But everyone says consensus, Caleb Williams is the best quarterback in this draft. But then you have dudes who's like, no, it's Jaden Daniels, and no, it's Drake May, and no, it's J.J. McCarthy. Like, no, it's Caleb Williams. So I don't believe that hype about the Bears looking to trade that pick, go from 1 to 2. They really like Caleb Williams a lot. And by the way, for Washington, from that standpoint, if they are able to get what I think is the second best quarterback in Drake May, or if they're able to get Bo Nix, or if they're able to get some other quarterback that makes his way up the charts, they'll be fine. Because I think that's an organization needs a restart as well. So Caleb Williams to Washington, or the Bears going down to 2, they're going to hold on to number 1 pick for sure.
Yeah, I always felt like that was kind of smoke screen from the jump. I was like, outside of him actually being from the D.C. area, I never understood how that made sense. If you want to talk about situations, and as he said today, like you want to win, they're very far away compared to where the Bears are. And the haul it would take to just move up 1 pick would gut your team even more. So that doesn't make any sense. If you're the Bears too, collecting picks is cool, but there's two things that's overrated in sports conversation to me: it's salary cap and draft picks. You got to get the actual talent. If you don't have the talent, that other shit don't matter. So I'm with you, and I never really took that as serious either. Let's pivot to something else real quick now. You host the J Hood and Cap Morning Show every morning. You and David Kaplan. I've been accused on this show. Every time Cap says something.
Great job, guys. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, I give it a pass because I had him on my show. And then when I saw you guys doing training camp, I talked to you guys every time we was up at camp last summer. Bang, and everybody else in the chat was like, oh, you going to comment on this?
Great job, guys. Great job.
You going to be Hollywood on that one?
See what you're doing out there, Scott.
Your boys, with black people, when you meet one person a couple times, they automatically, that's your boy. What is it like, being on the show with Cap every day? Cap says these wild things. More specifically, the comment he said last week about saying it was a cowardly act for Justin to unfollow the Bears in the NFL.
Okay, so one of the things that I like to do on the show I do with David Kaplan is to be the thermostat in the room. I think that's for anybody that does this for a living. It's one thing to run hot, but when you can be able to control the thermostat in the room, then I think that you can win an argument or win a conversation. And so when I heard Cap say that, when he said that he thought it was cowardly for Justin Fields to unfollow the Bears or unfollow the National Football League, I explained to him, I said, Cap, you have to understand young people. This is how young people are able to let everyone that's following know, hey, you know what? I feel like I don't want either the smoke or I don't want the drama of this. I don't want to see this on my timeline. And you see this all the time from young people. This is not new. Young people will unfollow. And if you follow along, you find out, oh, he unfollowed the Bears. Well, he did that on purpose. It's not cowardly. It's something that he wants to do for his own mental health. That's one. And two, it sends a signal to the Bears like, oh, so I haven't heard anything from you guys. You ghosted me, or you haven't talked to my agent. Okay, so you know what? I'm not with the Bears anymore. I'm a Chicago Bear until I'm not. And so that's exactly what I told him. I told Cap, and I said it several times to him, like, you can say it's cowardly, but this is what young people do. And it's okay to do that. It's your Instagram account. I mean, because if you unfollow the Bears, that clearly says you're not coming back to the team. Or they told you, or heard Ryan Poles say a couple of days ago, he said, I'm going to try to do right by Justin Fields. When he said that, I heard that all my life, man. When I could hear my mom on the phone, she's like, I'm going to do right by her. I'm going to do right by our couple. Do right. Like, I know what that means. Yep. I'm going to do right, meaning that I'm going to make this right. I'm going to smooth this out, meaning that I'm going to send you to a team where you could start or have an opportunity to have a fresh start, to start on the team or have a fresh start as a player. So, we talked about it, and I told him, like, no, it's not cowardly. It's a choice. Him saying, I don't want to see the Bears on my timeline. I don't want to hear about me against Caleb anymore. I'm done. And he has every right to do that.
Cap is a married man, so I don't want to disrespect Cap and his marriage because he's a married man, but that just means that Cap don't follow a lot of women on Instagram, because the main reason why Justin didn't delete his Instagram like he suggested,
he went on vacation.
Because I can guarantee you that he follows a bevy of women that he will double tap or not double tap because he doesn't want anybody to see it, but he will hit that bookmark button. Just
Mr. London House himself.
So Cap, that's why he didn't delete it, because there's a number of scantily clad women that young man follows that he loves to see on his timeline, and he does not necessarily like to see the Bears on that right now. I want to see the women.
Yes, and that's okay. You know what? I'm down for that too, because I'm a double tapper.
Just unfollow who you want. I unfollow the White Sox. Unfollow who you want, my boy. Find your piece. Your piece.
That's right. It's a declarative statement, guys, that I don't want to be around the Bears anymore. They don't want me, and I haven't heard anything about the Bears. Okay, I'm gonna follow them. But then he goes on the Brown Brothers podcast, and Justin's like, I just didn't want to see it. I want to see the NFL. Look, he's not going to take his whole Instagram down, but that was just what everyone does. It's either you're going to unfollow or you're going to put up a Maya Angelou quote. That's all it is gonna be. So
You
that's
post
what he did.
or what a lot of the young generation likes to do is they post a black background with the words. That's when you know they're lost
Yeah.
in the sauce and they're going something. Where they just put the phone down, take a black picture, and they say, "Moving in silence."
Or
Yeah.
with Rod Wave playing in the background.
Oh, if they're listening to Rod Wave, it's over. He's done.
yeah.
Shout out to Tim Anderson.
Oh,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Shout out to
man.
Tim Anderson. But for one thing, and I think we all agree here, Justin has been nothing but a consummate professional. At 24, for him to have the level-headedness that he showed and to be able to take these bullets, there's a difference of Mitch asking to turn off the TVs during week 9 in season, and Justin clearly saying in the off season, where I think the writing was on the wall and he knows it, like, hey, I just don't want to see this shit. Just let me know where I stand. And I think Ryan Poe's he reiterated that and he sympathized with him because he said it, like, I wouldn't want to live in the gray either. So moving on from that, Justin, Caleb, lost in all of this Justin Caleb stuff is the fact that the Bears have a golden opportunity here with not one but 2 picks in the top 10 in this upcoming draft. So my question for you is, Jay Hood, what are you looking for with pick 9? Because pick 9 to me is more important than pick 1. I think that ship has already sailed and we know where they're going, and I'm 100% fine with it, and I'm excited just like all of my co-hosts. I think this is going to be a new beginning offensively for the Bears, and maybe Caleb is what we've been asking for. But what do you think they should prioritize at pick 9? And as a UGA guy, what do you think about Brock Bowers there?
I love Brock Bowers. I mean, that guy catches everything. Watching Georgia as much as I do every game, I watch him from the jump, and I was just impressed by just a guy that can make guys miss. Not so big, that not so bulky that he is just going to fall down. That dude, it has some speed to him. He's got hands, and so I like Bowers a lot. But I think that it's too bad that T. Higgins got tagged, because I would have loved to see another veteran on the other side of DJ Moore. But because of that, Roma Dunze, the wide receiver from Washington, is going to be there at 9. I know that these mock drafts are fluid, for between 2 and 10. But I think that if Marvin Harrison was not going to be there. And by the way, Marvin Harrison, that dude, that's some G stuff right there. He's just like, you know what? I'm not even showing up. I'm not doing that.
Hey, his daddy's son.
Yes.
Allegedly.
I just say he is daddy's son.
Whoever his alleged father is, I don't know who this guy is.
So Reggie Wayne's son is a G. Let me tell you, because clearly he's doing whatever he wants to do, man, and so he won't be there. But I really believe that Dunze from Washington, if he's there at 9, you got to take him, because now you have Cole Kmet, you got a young wide receiver, you got DJ Moore, and then you can move from there. I mean, I think that that's the best course of action, a wide receiver, because the money that they have to spend, you spend that on the offensive line, you spend that on the defensive line, and then as far as the wide receiver, I like them going young. I like that a lot.
Now, would you consider for some reason, like I know today, Diana Rossini came out with a piece stating that she's been hearing in Indianapolis that 4 quarterbacks might go in the first 4 picks, and that Arizona and Los Angeles Chargers are looking to trade back. Would you give any thought, if you were Ryan Post, to trade up for a Marvin Harrison Jr. or a Malik Neighbors?
Well, definitely Malik Neighbors, and it makes me wonder, how far Neighbors will go down. Like, to me, in that top 10, I can see both of those receivers going, and I think you have a choice at 9. I think you can get one of the 2 of those receivers between 2 and 10. You mentioned, Rossini said that the possibility of trading down.
Correct. So, well, the talk this week in Indianapolis there was a couple points. One, Justin Fields' trade market isn't as robust as many were thinking.
Yeah.
2 is that it's a guarantee that the first 3 picks will be quarterbacks, with Caleb, Daniels and May in any order for 2 and 3, and that starting at number 4, the Arizona Cardinals, it would be their number one priority would be to actually trade back and not take a Marvin Harrison Jr. And that the Los Angeles Chargers are also in the market of trading back too. I believe both franchises really are kind of up against the cap, trying to make some things happen. They would rather take more picks. Arizona does have 2 picks in the first round this draft. So there is the talk of a 4th quarterback moving up, and that quarterback would be JJ McCarthy for whoever is looking for a quarterback at number 4. So that's just why I was thinking, would Ryan Poles, armed with the number 9 pick, say Carolina's second in 2025 that we have next year, and maybe the first pick, be willing to move up and take a Marvin Harrison Jr. and kind of go with the Cincinnati Bengals blueprint of getting Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase in the same draft, in that same.
I don't think so. I don't know if he's got the stomach for that when it comes to Marvin Harrison. I know that he would like to get in the second round. I think he'd like to have multiple picks in the second round if he could. I don't think so. And as far as the quarterbacks are concerned, just the way it lays out, it's funny that you laid that out because you mentioned, 4 quarterbacks and one of them being JJ McCarthy. It's funny, man, what a national championship does for you. That dude just handed the ball off to a national champion. Like, he didn't have to throw the ball because he didn't have to in that offense, right? It was a running offense. And as far as McCarthy letting the ball go, I mean, he does have an arm, but he didn't showcase it much. It didn't have to in Michigan, and I'm not sure how that works. If JJ McCarthy goes, say, in the top 20, I would imagine that team would be benching him for the first year. He can't start right away. Absolutely not. Like, I like Caleb Williams, but I also like Drake May as well. To me, those are the 2 sure quarterbacks I think that can make a difference right away for a team. But as far as like McCarthy's concerned, if he's taking the top 20, that means there's some Michigan shine on him. Just like, he just won the national championship, because McCarthy to me is a guy that has to sit and wait. That's what I think. I don't know. I'm not a dream killer, guys, but I'm just saying, like, he didn't have to do a whole bunch to be able to help Michigan win the national championship as far as his arm and throwing for 400 and 500 yards. He wasn't that guy.
He needs to be on the Jordan Love plan, I think. Sit for a couple years. I mean, he's 20 years old. I thought it would have benefited him more if he went back this year. But so I 100% agree with you. I don't.
JJ McCarthy gonna be coaching Nazareth. He's gonna be the
JJ
head coach at
McCarthy
Nazareth.
auto parts coming soon.
He's gonna go be Robbie Gold's quarterback coach.
No, he's going back home to LaGrange Park in Nazareth. By the time he's 30 years old, he's going to be the head coach at Nazareth, and there's going to be a piece in the LaGrange Park newspaper that talks about the kid comes home to bring Nazareth back to prominence.
The kid comes home. McCarthy.
That's crazy. Yeah. But nah, bro. Over these last few weeks, I really felt like, the last Justin Fields defender left, in this chat, every group
I'm
chat
still strong. I'm still standing. You like Derek Luke on Antoine Fisher?
I'm not though. I'm not still strong. Like, it's over. Like, I've acknowledged that it's over. Like, that meme where they jump in the crypt, it's like, fight back. Like, I can't fight back no more, bro. Like, y'all didn't whoop my ass. But J Hood lately, Diana Rossini, she also said that, there isn't many takers for Justin Fields right now, and the market isn't what the Bears thought it was going to be. So my question to you is, do you think that's just more smoke by, Atlanta or maybe Pittsburgh to drive the price down, or has the market become, something that we didn't really think it was going to be?
No, I think it's I think that there's some smoke out there to say that there's no price for Justin Fields or it's down. Look, there's a couple of destinations. Atlanta is the most obvious one, because here's what's funny, because it's like, he's on the Browns Brothers podcast and like breaking down Atlanta. Like, he was talking about, they're good. He said, people are just going to be hitting me up for tickets a lot, but they're a good team. They're just like a wide receiver away from being good. So he already knows what's going on with the Falcons. I don't know if he wants to be coached by Omar Epps in Pittsburgh. I mean, because here's the thing about that dude, right?
You gotta stop holding the ball, man. That's what Tom said.
Like, he will get him in a dark room. If Fields holds the ball too long, be like, man, you are not going to fuck up my legacy. I've been over 500 all this time. I'm not going to be under 500 because of you. I did this stuff with 4 quarterbacks last year. So I don't know if Fields wants that pressure, because clearly that dude wants to continue to be over 500 and get a chance to be in the playoffs. But that's a couple teams. The third team that's the wild card is the Raiders. And what does that look like with Luke Getsy as offensive coordinator? Like going back to with Luke Getsy.
It looks like a lot of shots of Casamigos in that little club area they got over there. That's what that look like.
they said they got along. Could you imagine? Like Getsy's like, fresh, being in Vegas, getting away from Justin. All of a sudden, Justin comes to the door. That's a possibility. Justin Fields against Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah.
That well could happen. But I mean, those are three destinations. But the idea that Justin doesn't have a home or that that is dried up, no, he'll find a way to compete for a job. And at some point, I think start in 2024.
I think too, I don't want him to be in the NFC, number one. Also, I don't want Dante to be happy. So I want him to go anywhere but Atlanta.
Just unnecessary hate, bro.
I gotta hear every Sunday, oh, the Ben's on fire, G. No, I'm not trying to hear that.
I'm telling you, I got Charger season tickets. If he come down here, I may have to make a switch. I'm not gonna lie to you, because it's gonna be rocking in there every Sunday. Like Atlanta is one of the few cities where like the NFL game, you have like a true black experience, bro. Like it's crazy in that stadium.
They had
Scott,
Bo
you were there
doing intros. They had Bo Hagen doing intros.
Wait a minute. Who am I? Bo Hagen being
Bo Hagen was doing intros, bro. Yeah.
Oh
like,
man,
they really tapped in with the city. So like, it's no joke.
That's
like,
what I told my wife. She went to a preseason game in Atlanta, and she was like, "Oh, I'll come to a Bears game with you." I was like, "No, you will not. You will not. You will not enjoy that experience, fam. You was in the box with leather seats, fam. That's not gonna happen here."
When we did the game last season, not last season, but 2022 season, when Justin got hurt in Atlanta, I think he threw two touchdowns, and this was the most Atlanta shit ever. T.I. led the team out. Bo Hagen was doing team introductions. Omari Hall, a ghost. He did like a halftime speech or whatever, like all the Atlanta shit you got possibly. And on top of that, the media press box food is the greatest of all time. I have never had red velvet cookies at a game until then. I had it to go play like I was dirty. Like it was crazy.
Fam, Samuel L. Jackson does the hype videos before the game start. Like that's the type of vibe it is in Atlanta, bro. Yeah. Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
So like for Justin, I love it. But I don't want to hit Dante every Sunday, so I'm hoping he don't go. I hope he goes somewhere else. But
I mean, that's real nice what you just laid out. But that does nothing for white folks. It's like, damn, the Chick-fil-A is closed again on Sunday.
But they give the media Chick-fil-A sandwiches, though.
Talk to him, Scott.
They give the media Chick-fil-A. They had a Chick-fil-A sandwich bar. I was like, what is this?
Those were the sandwiches from the leftover Saturday games.
Warmed up, right?
Right.
It was great up in there. But we got one more question from the chat, and then we're going to pivot real quick to White Sox Bull. I got White Sox Bulls question for him. But Orlando in the chat says, what position, J. Hood, would you prefer the Poles go after in free agency?
Well, definitely the offensive line. Like that should be yesterday. The offensive line, like that's yesterday. And also the defensive line. You know, it's funny. Like Eberflus, he's so confident now that he changed his whole look. Right, his defense is good.
It's that beard. It's that beard. That's what it is.
Now, he's got the look now, a little gel in the hair, a little mustache, because he knows that if you're a Chicago coach, you must have a stash. If you don't have a mustache, you're not winning a championship. I mean, that's like an automatic, right? Like Phil Jackson, O'Quinville, Ozzie Guillen, Joe Madden. If you do not have a mustache, you do not win a championship in Chicago. So he realized that's why he grew a little something, changed the look, whatever. And he's just, you can see, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I noticed this. Eberflus, his confidence got more and bigger as the season went on, even though it wasn't the season. He felt more empowered because his defense was better. All of a sudden, he gives you full sentences. After he ran away from our show with
right,
he did.
He did.
Because we were asking, the questions were too tough for him, or what we thought, and he said it fits better in his schedule to work afternoons.
Yeah, that's he wasn't doing nothing.
He was trying to mid-shift.
This one I knew that he had job security. I remember I texted y'all this when it happened. When he basically ran Getsy over with a truck and won the press conference talking about the offense. I was like, yep, he got job security.
Yeah, he was more and more empowered. Once he got off our show and then the defense started getting better, then I think that he got and must have some assurances that he was returning. That's one, that he was not going to get fired. But
Yeah.
I think that you can look at his defense and say, boy, it did get better. And with Montez Sweat, that definitely helped. I think that they're going to look at offensive line in free agency, I think maybe first. And if not, it's going to be the defensive line, because I thought the Bears got after it pretty good defensively. They were opportunistic. I'm a big fan of Tyreek Stevenson. Even through the mistakes, I'm like, you know what? That's all right. Like, I wasn't mad when he would have like these bad, penalties or whatever. It's just like, it's good. He's going to be a cornerstone for the franchise. Jalen Johnson is one of the best Bears on the team. If you watch defense, you know how opportunistic he is, ball hawk that he is. He's going to be fine. They're not going to take a step back without Eddie Jackson. I think they're going to be fine because it's going to be younger. It's going to be opportunistic. But I really believe, to answer the question, it's going to be offensive line or defensive line for the Bears in free agency. And guys, they got money to spend. They have money to spend. So they can't just stick it in their pocket and be like, I'm good. Over $70 million to spend.
Spend the bread.
Yep.
Spend the bread. Let's pivot to I got a question for you. We asked this question on our Patreon show. I think it was last week, and I was the only one who picked the Bulls in this equation. But you are a White Sox fan, of course. We know what's going on with the Bulls. Which Reinsdorf-owned team has the worst future, the White Sox or the Bulls? I said it's the White Sox. Which one do you think has the worst future?
It's the Bulls, as long as Arturas Karnisovas is there as a general manager. How is it that you don't make a deal for 30 months and keep your job?
And that is crazy.
I'm not even sure he's a real person. He might be an AI GM or something.
I mean,
Charlie's Angels.
Just say it out loud. How the fuck do you not make a deal for 30 months and still keep your job? How does that happen? Like you can't just be the owner and be like, how's everything going? Everything's fine. Thumbs up. Okay, see you later. As long as the UC is full and Benny the Bull's still doing the popcorn trick and people keep coming to the games, it's all good. It's the weirdest thing, right? Like, at some point, does Michael Reinsdorf look at the standings and like, does he look at them upside down and be like, oh shit, we're in first place? Like when you turn it the other way, it's like, no, you're struggling to even get in the play-in. I just don't understand how you sit there and then have the temerity to go to the press at the deadline and be like, we like continuity. We like our continuity. We're going to keep team together. Like, really?
If he dies, he dies.
I mean, it's so bizarre. So I would say it's them, because the White Sox they've drawn a line in the sand. They're like, we're gonna take your tax money and we're gonna build a stadium. And we're going to contend in 29. That's what they're telling you, right? But the Bulls, they are just good with the status quo. They are stuck. They don't make any moves. They don't go backwards. I can say if you tank today, I can say if you tank, they won't even do that. They're just like, continuity is fine.
I still got a question. I've asked everybody who talked about the Bulls this question. What does Mark Eversley do? What does Mark Eversley do? Somebody said, what does he do? Like, what's his?
He hooks up Kobe White with those LeBrons and all the Nike gear. That's what he does. That's what he does.
Just want to know what I call him West Side West. If we have Worldwide West in New York, we got West Side West out here with Mark Eversley. All right, man. I know you do Busted Open on Sundays. Listen to you when we ain't doing First Black Champ Live. And y'all had an interesting conversation around The Rock and his promo. And you made some points that made me even change my mind. However, earlier today, my man dropped a 15-minute, then removed it. It was like, nah, I need 6 more minutes. Dropped a 21-minute promo about Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins and all of that. So we are on the road to WrestleMania, WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. What are your thoughts on the latest Rock promo and the road to WrestleMania?
I watched that promo, and I don't think it was heavily edited. I think that was just him being himself. I think that the one he did in Salt Lake was him trying to let people know that he's a heel. He was trying to get the rust off a little bit, and he just wanted to let people know, like, yes, I'm rocking with Roman Reigns, and I'm going to be part of the bloodline. It was fine, but this one was like really vintage Rock. I just thought that what he had to say was great. And here's the thing, like, it was so convincing, Bang. It was so convincing that I'm like, I thought that The Rock would turn babyface at WrestleMania. I don't think so now. Based on how he was able to put that promo out there, like, it's hard to be able to go the other way after going so hard in the paint as he did in that promo I saw today. It was strong. If people have not seen this, watch this, because you may never have seen The Rock curse before. And so the way he was going about it and talking about Dave LaGreca and talking about it was really, really strong, and it gave added hype to WrestleMania. I just think it's fun. I think it's really fun that The Rock can kind of be himself as a heel again.
Hey, man, I feel like he listened to First Black Champ, fam, because I already say, hey, take that damn Versace shirt off, fam. You're a billionaire. This ain't $7, Rock.
Somebody said he looked like a Dominican uncle with that fake $500 thing on.
He did.
He just tried to turn the clock back to that's what you remember The Rock looking like in '99, but that was '99.
And he was less swole in '99.
Yes.
It looked like the how do you do, kids? That's how it looked. You know, I love the promo because I'm definitely a seasonal watcher. I watch wrestling during WrestleMania season, and then this how long I've been I haven't been a consistent wrestling watcher. I was about to say after Backlash. I don't even last time they had Backlash to the pay-per-view.
It's back though.
It's back.
It's back.
Is it still in April?
Back. They call it WrestleMania Backlash now. It got a first name.
Okay, all right.
It got a first name.
WrestleMania. No, when I was watching wrestling, Royal Rumble, No Way Out, WrestleMania, Backlash, Judgment Day, King of the Ring, real old school. That's when I'll be watching.
Yeah, Bad Bunny wrestled last Backlash in Puerto Rico.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yo, he was good. It was really good, man. It was
shout out to my cousin right there.
Man,
you better claim it, man. Claim
it. That's my Puerto Rican primo right there. That's Puerto Rican Jesus. He took the title over from Mark. He took the title over from Mark Anthony. He's Puerto Rican Jesus now.
Oh, Mark Anthony was once Puerto Rican Jesus.
Yeah, the title,
bro. Hold on now. Don't disrespect.
No, I'm asking. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know Mark Anthony that was that high on the Puerto Rican list.
Yeah, on the depth chart.
Like who top 5 Puerto Ricans?
Yeah, give us the top 5.
The top 5 Puerto Ricans: Roberto Clemente.
Okay.
Mark Anthony, Bad Bunny, Daddy Yankee. That's 4. I'll be real with you. I'll be honest with you. The Puerto Ricans don't claim J-Lo, and there's girls on the island with way bigger asses than hers. So, a fifth one is tough, man. Carlos Arroyo. Hey, Carlos Arroyo. You know what? Since they're both short, you put Carlos Arroyo and JJ Barrera, and that makes 1/5 Puerto Rican.
What about Felix Trinidad?
Oh no! You could do Felix, or you could do Miguel Cotto. You could do one of those. Or you could do Wilfredo Benitez. I mean, you know, we got a bunch.
Y'all tried to kill Bernard Hopkins when he threw the flag down.
Hey man, what you mean, y'all? What you mean, y'all? Hey, boxing is the only sport that it gets real racist. Real racist. Real quick.
I'm not even gonna hold y'all. When I saw Bernard Hopkins threw the flag down in Puerto Rico, I thought he was gonna die. And I had I said, man, I'm putting all this money I got on Felix Trinidad because now he gotta do it.
Oh no, Bernard fucked him up. That's why Tito ain't on number 5. It'll go to Cotto. Yeah. He should have got shanked. He should have got stabbed, but it's all right.
I think I have found this week's reel. Thank you, Mikey.
I have a 5th vote. Can I have a 5th vote?
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Shout out to Lala Vasquez. Thank you, Lena Waite.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
They have shown Lala naked so many times on Power Universe. I feel like I knew her. Like that's how many times they've been shown on naked.
You feel like you here. You feel like you here.
Exactly. I feel like I like no disrespect to Mello. I don't want to get pressed when I come to New York. But
when he comes to Evanston.
Right. Okay. All right. I know exactly where you went with that. Enough. That's a deep cut joke. Oh man, Jay Hood, man, always great to talk to you, bro. Well, definitely got to get you back on here again soon. Let them know where they can get in tune with you and like everything you got going on. Obviously,
You got 30 minutes. That's a
yeah.
lot. You should see my stack of W-2s I got here. I mean,
All right, fuck this.
Man, you should see my W-2s. It's always a 3-hour experience. With Cap and J Hood on the ESPN Chicago app. Download the app. I'm on 7 to 10 on ESPN 1000 in Chicago. And I do 2 wrestling shows, one Busted Open Radio on Sirius XM, Fight Nation, and Good Karma Wrestling as well. Got podcasts, Under the Hood podcast as well, as I talk basketball there. So keep it busy, that's for sure.
Definitely, bro. Definitely glad to talk to you. We gonna holler at you again.
All right, fuck this.
Oh man.
Salty.
All right, let's move on to our baseball topic, man. We're gonna bring in another guest who is becoming a correspondent on here. Got the homie Mike Will. Mike, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? Happy Friday.
First of all, this how I know I've known this nigga too long. When Jay Hood said Busted Open Radio, this nigga, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like,
yeah, I'm like, what's going on? What's going on, man? What's going on? You know what I'm saying?
And the wildest thing is when I said it before the show, everybody else was like, "Oh,
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?" Yeah,
where are we going now? Where are we going?
Mike, bro.
When he was talking about the Puerto Rico, I'm like, man, throw my man Javi Baez up in there, man. But go ahead, throw Javi in there.
Hell no.
Hey,
I ain't even Puerto Rican, and I shut that one down. Hell no.
Oh, shit.
he got to get a batting average over 190 this year to be, brought back into the mix.
Facts. He got a ring though, man. Shout out to Javi Baez.
Oh man, Mike, we got you here for the next hour. We're gonna talk about a little baseball. Then we're gonna have Pavy join us. We're gonna have a special edition of Cousin Dan. As I told people are really gonna see what it's like in my mama's house for Christmas. In this next segment, he wanted to talk to you. He wanted to change in a rundown. He said, "I want to argue Scramble Boy, who he calls Justin Fields, with Mike."
He don't know football, bro. Like
no, he doesn't know anything. It's not just football. He don't know anything.
It's kind of hilarious. Yeah, like that man hit me up was like, fucking Dak and fucking Lamar is the same player. I'm like, no, Dak and Kirk Cousins is the same player, my guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's here no there. We'll get to that.
Let's start off with our baseball talk. We're gonna take over the hot corner today since Courtney is under.
Oh yeah, y'all about to talk baseball. I thought y'all niggas later.
Yeah. We'll bring you in, and after when we get ready for local hour, we're gonna bring Bang back in. But we're taking over for Courtney this week because Courtney is under the weather, and just want to let Courtney try to pull a flu game. I told her like this is a show. You don't. I've had food poisoning before.
So she's hungover, is what you're saying?
No, she's not.
Mike, that wasn't no flu game. That man was hungover, but that's a different.
That wasn't no pizza. That wasn't no pizza.
That was the Glenville game. That's what that was.
I know when a motherfucker lost 250K at the casino the night before.
Exactly.
But let's get into the baseball, man. Of course, Mike, you are a Cubs fan, lifelong Cubs fan. Like, this is how long. See, before I gave up the White Sox, which Mike does not believe me, by the way, but I gave up the White Sox when first time. This is why I want you in this conversation, because me and Mike were literally one of two people at Curie High School who actually talked about baseball. Like,
for sure.
Nobody else talked about baseball. And shout out your granddad. He'd be like, man, Scott is an amazing guy. He just a punk ass White Sox fan. Like, all the time. But with the Cubs, coming off last year, you guys finally re-signed Cody Bellinger. I know some Cubs fans were upset by how the offseason went. I feel like a lot of people thought you guys would make more moves after the big Craig Counsell signing. What's your opinion on the offseason? What do you think the outlook is for the team with Bellinger back in the fold?
I mean, that was a must. That Bellinger was definitely a must. I actually was up. I think it came out like 1:30 in the morning or something like that. It's like breaking news on ESPN. I believe if we didn't after the Ohtani signing went down, I think the main focus should have been that. Scott Boras, he's definitely a tough agent, so it's like a back and forth thing. he's going to make it as difficult as possible. But that was a must, say a cornerstone to our just like not just our offense, but our defense. So I believe the Cubs would be a well-rounded defensive team, especially up the middle. You'll probably have Cody playing mostly first, and maybe Armstrong in center field, and you can switch it off there. But definitely needed. It's kind of like you said, it is kind of disappointing that moves won't be made, but it's still a couple players out there that they can, hopefully grab and things like that. But we're not the only one that did make moves, you know what I'm saying? But to bring back that team, I think you're going to need another piece or two, maybe another pitcher. Let's see what they do at third base. I don't know if they can get Chapman or not. Obviously, he's a Scott Boras agent as well, so we see how that work out. But hopefully, I think Suzuki will come back stronger this year. He ended the year very well, even though he missed that fly ball. But shit happens. But yeah, Cody was a big signing. The contract is definitely, favorable. Like it's basically okay. Cody, do it again. Just do it one more time. Even though he's a proven MVP and things like that, it's like, okay, let me see you do it one more time, and then I know you got to opt out, and they'll probably go on from there.
Mikey, man, you have I don't think you were you when we talked about the outlook for the Cubs. I think you did.
Yeah.
You were here? Okay,
We
but
did it
now
on
that
the local hour.
yeah, we did on the local hours. Let's we're gonna do the content, then we're gonna revisit it. What do you think now? After seeing the Bellinger deal go through and everything that's going on with the Cubs.
Well, to piggyback off Mike's comment, it was a must because I always felt re-signing Cody was the bare minimum for the Cubs offseason. I think they needed the moment that they decided to not trade him last August in the before the trade deadline as they were starting to make that run. I think they needed to go ahead and sign him to a deal. Now I am of the mindset that both parties won this deal. Scott Boras was trying to cash out with Cody Bellinger for that 6, 7, 8 year deal off of the 1 year bounce back. And I think Jed Hoyer, I think the rest of the MLB was basically saying, hey, Cody, do it again. Prove it that you could do it again. There are some statistics that point to him not possibly having the same year that he had last year. His barrel rate was super low. So for the fact that his OPS was so high with the low part of him being able to connect with the barrel, I don't know if that translates this year, but we'll have to see. So it basically is the Carlos Correa deal where you get a high annual average value, $30 million a year. That's the most that a Cubs player has ever made in a single season. With opt-outs after year one, year two. So go ahead and do it again. If he does it again, then 100% he'll be in line to get paid. I think the Cubs really were hoping to bank on going with the PCA and the youth movement in center field. As it stands right now, he might not even break camp with the Cubs. It might be Cody Bellinger with Mike Talkman spelling Cody Bellinger and PCA developing more in the minors. I mean, he is still a child. He's only 21 years old. So if Cody hits and they keep him for the next 2-3 years and PCA is coming up at age 23, the Cubs are still in the prime spot. I think what they do now as far as third base, I'm a Christopher Morel guy. I think he should be playing every day. I think there's impact in that bat. I know his glove isn't steady at third base. But I think you have to get him in the lineup more. So if he can play third base, that's cool. I'm not really of the mindset that they need to go ahead and give Matt Chapman big money. Um, he's a career 247 hitter. Obviously, defensively, he's going to go ahead and bring an amazing glove. And I mean, they're going to they'll have a gold glove third baseman, shortstop in Dansby Swanson, and a second baseman in Nico Horner. So they'll probably have one of the best infields in the league. But I think they still need to do more as far as pitching and another impact bat. As it stands now, I don't have them to be the favorites of the NLC Central. I think the Reds might be able to make a push. I think the Brewers will still be able to make a push. Let's see where they're at in the summertime, and if they go ahead and trade off one of these players, in the prospect, since they do have the number one farm system, to go ahead and add an impact bat.
And when you talk about all the additions they have and like what they're looking like as far as like the trajectory of the division, Dante, what would you have them at win wise for this season? What do you think is a good season for them win wise?
I think the Cubs are gonna win around. I think that 85 to 89 game range. I do think they're gonna contend for that division. I think bringing back Cody, like we said, having him in that lineup, and my whole thing with Morel, I would pay Matt Chapman. 100%. Like I understand, the low batting average and all of that, but he's a guy when he does hit the ball, he hits the ball hard. And putting him in a lineup where he has protection, and then you bring in a glove like that at third base, and like you mentioned, Dansby and Nico. And I think with Belly playing most of his time at first, I think if you slide Belly at first, you now have a Gold Glove infield. Like I hear you, but I'm saying just context is everything. You now have a Gold Glove infield. You have more time for PCA to develop in the pros, because I'm not a fan of taking guys who are pretty much ready for the show and putting them back down for developmental purposes.
They're gonna ride they're gonna ride with Michael Bush playing first base. My thing is, what has Michael Bush done to earn that right off rip?
Exactly,
like right off rip. Why weren't they looking to improve first base? And then you add somebody like Michael Bush, and now you have options. So they're going with an unproven MLB player. Yes, he was a Pacific League MVP, and he was a top ranked. He was a top, Red Sox, Dodgers prospect. But they were going to cut him to get him off the 40-man roster. The Dodgers rarely give up on people. They were ready to be done with him. So, he's going to get his ABs at first base. But I thought they should have went ahead, and I thought they were going to spend more. Honestly, from everything that's come out, Ohtani was never gonna come to the Cubs. He was just gonna be a Dodger regardless, or he was going back to
he was going
Anaheim.
nowhere. He was staying in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
The other thing too is like, okay, what other moves could they have made?
Well, you're right.
Because it's kind of like people like, oh, I want them to make moves. Want to make moves. Well, we got left field, we got right field. The center field is okay. Is it PCA? Is it Bellinger? Okay, first baseman, but second, short. Second and short is solidified. Third, you got Morel, and then you got the ex-White Sox player. I like it because he ex-White Sox.
Magical, yeah.
Magical. And I like Magical because the contact and things like that. And he started to play a little bit better defensively at third. So it's like it's really only third base. You don't know what center field and first baseman because Belly could go both ways. So you just didn't know. So it's like, okay, where did y'all want to go? Maybe some relief help. Maybe another starting pitcher. Mike Topman is another person that is like, okay, prove that shit again too. Because he had a decent year, definitely defensively, making contact, being the leadoff hitter. But I did see like a projection of it. Like only one thing I do want, I just wanted I need Ian Happ to drop in the lineup. I just didn't like him where he was at. I think to me, he was just getting too many at bats more than the other players. I think he was batting second or third. Like move his ass down, like the
right.
So I kept saying that, like, and I'm a firm believer of this. I'm a firm fucking believer of this.
Fuck you, Debo. Fuck you, Debo.
He said,
fellas, and they need to take if you're a switch hitter, get the fuck out of here. You can't bet right.
You got to pick one side. You got to pick one side.
Listen, I'm tired of that shit. Yes, every now and then you might get a homer or a hit. You're batting 125 right-handed. Bro, just either sit them lefty, to sit them down or bat, bro. Or bat. Like, stop who's terrible at that shit? Ellie the Cruz. Man, they thought that man was terrible right-handed. And Ian Happ be terrible, right? Like, bro, stop. Like, all switch hitters, just stop it. It was no, it doesn't work, bro.
And I hear you. And to say, what else they could have done, and kind of to go to Orlov's point where, you listen, man, take it from somebody. I'm a White Sox fan. I've done the whole fall in love with prospects. Them shits are like plus 5,000 parlays. Not every single person you just listed is gonna hit. Y'all motherfuckers have been talking about Brennan Davis for how long, and he can't stay on the field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
that's true.
If one or two of Cassie Shaw hit, then that's fine. As you, Mike, as being a Cubs fan and knowing that the Ricketts have bread and knowing that you have these prospects, why wouldn't they be in play to go and trade off Ian Happ and trade off some of these prospects for Juan Soto? You know, like they have to at some point, regardless of what the Cubs have, they don't have a legitimate star in their lineup. They don't have star power. They don't have a Matt Olson. They don't have a Freddie Freeman. They don't have a Mookie Betts. They don't have a Mike Trout. They don't have a Bryce Harper. They don't have these guys that you really fear. Like, look at like Cody Bellinger had an amazing bounce back year, but the league told you what they thought. We don't think he could do it again. Cubs, go ahead, take that short term, take that chance on him again. If Cody Bellinger doesn't hit, then what is it? Dansby Swanson cannot carry a lineup. You know what I'm saying? So I thought you could have added another impact bat and had Cody Bellinger to lengthen your lineup and not put so much pressure on guys like Ian Happ, Christopher Morel, Dansby Swanson. We saw what Dansby Swanson did. Granted, they had a fucking whip 1 through 9 in Atlanta, right, Dante? But we saw what Dansby Swanson did with actual protection in the lineup. And that's all I thought.
And the crazy thing about it.
Get the fuck out of here with that. Who was in the World Series last year? Stop. That's the fucking problem. Y'all let these rich fucking people try to convince you that is the way to fucking go. Yep. The Diamondbacks did it. Listen, Ketel Marte and Corbin Carroll are better than the 2 players on the Cubs. They're better than the best 2 players on the Cubs. It is what it is. You got to stop giving these owners shooting them bail. They need to go and put fucking players on the field, star players. You're the Chicago Cubs, right?
They're cheap. They're cheap because
and that's why.
They're trying to duplicate what last year did because Cubs did better what they thought. So the owners saw like, oh, okay, well let's run it back and just fix this. We went from 80-something wins. Maybe we can get the high 89 and have 90 if Ross didn't fuck it up. The Cubs should have been in the playoffs. So that's how they're looking at it. So it's like, oh, let's kind of run it back. We don't got to spend the money. And that's a fucked up thing. It's like, no, right. You got to get better because these other teams are going to get better. The major market teams, which is Cubs, you have to get better because these other teams are going to get better around you.
Yeah, but that's also, again, like I've been saying the last 2 weeks, that's why they got Craig Counsell. Because they're banking on him and his ability to manipulate that young talent and help them develop and get to the level where they need to get. So, like, yeah, they were cheap on that end, but they spent the bread there on the developmental side and the guy who's going to be actually driving the ship. So, if Craig can do that, like, I hear what y'all saying and I agree because I'm the main, like you said, as a White Sox fan, I know. But at the same time, being down here in Atlanta, they've had a steady mix of both. Like, they
and you can have a mix of both.
Right.
But I think that if you're going the full Diamondbacks route, which is what Mikey said, you're on a slippery slope. And the thing that pisses me off about the Cubs, I'm like, not as a Cubs fan, but you're the fucking Cubs. You can spend fucking money. And like, not to say that there's not, I'm with you, Mike. I don't really think that there was like a move out there to like, oh, it's going to save things. But I would have liked to see them maybe go, and this goes to my next topic about the Scott Boras remaining Scott Boras clients. I would like to see them maybe go after a Blake Snell or go after a Montgomery to try to put some things around there. Because after like Ola put in the chat, like, yeah, we had the prospects 2016. Yeah, but you had a good mix of free agents as well. And not to say that I put the Cubs at that point yet, but I think it needs to be a mix.
And the worst thing that kind of happened I tell people all the time, I'm glad the Cubs won, was them winning that World Series. Only person that was making money like that was John Lester. Everybody else was young. So the league tried to copy that as well. No offense to the White Sox. They tried to copy that as well. Let's get these prospects. Those prospects were supposed to go crazy like the Cubs did. And it just did. The Cubs say, okay, Chris Bryant, they got Rizzo from the Padres in the trade. You know what I'm saying? So you got Javi, you got Addison Russell, you got the prospects. Okay, now let's get the pitcher, stuff like that, the veterans. Then you win. It's like, okay, cool. I really had to spend the money. Let's try to do it again. Then when it's time to pay the motherfucker, they say, no, all y'all got to go. And then
right.
No, but time over again.
But time out. But what else did they do when they won the World Series? They went and got John Madden. I mean, not John Madden.
Joe Madden.
You went and got Joe Madden. Exactly. So Craig Counsell is the Joe Madden of this situation. Like they're expecting to run it back and you have a formula. So like you try to give it a chance. But I also think this year, if they don't get the production they want from those prospects, they're smart enough and they have the money where it's like, okay, we can go get some guys. Like it's just baseball. You can always go get a guy.
If I'm people, I'm thinking like the motherfucking Yankees. I would have gave up some of the prospects for fucking Juan Soto.
100%.
That man, 25 years old and doing that. What do you want?
Yeah.
But at the same time,
it could be PCA. What do you want? Do you want him in
Yeah.
here?
Yeah,
But here's
I
the thing
agree.
with that,
total-
because the
that makes
Yankees
a
already,
total- What's the point
Yankees
of having
already
these
saying
prospects? You
though.
got to play them, or you use them as trade bait. That's in every
No,
fucking sport.
What did Cam
Right.
saying Peyton for? What's the point of having soldiers if you can't use them?
Right. Like,
No,
What's the point of having
100%.
these soldiers if you can't even use them?
No, that's 100%.
back.
I think that this just goes towards Jed's plan, and I think they honestly just they're gonna go with what Dante said. A new manager, Craig Counsell, they're gonna play cleaner defense. They're gonna still be able to score runs. I mean, I think they were 6th last year in total in the league in scoring runs, which is kind of crazy because they didn't really have a lot of pop. But I think this is like that year where okay, new voice, new philosophy, and we're gonna let the young guys grow, and they're not really in their window. And then in 2025, you possibly go ahead and look at maybe throwing in your name in the Juan Soto hat, maybe going and acquiring somebody like Pete Alonso, like a legit power bat, that could slide in, with in front of a Dansby Swanson and or behind the Dansby Swanson and behind the Cody Bellinger, So I think it's gonna be interesting.
50 home runs by Peter
Yeah,
Alonso.
100%.
He's guaranteed 50.
He's gonna be smacking them. He's gonna be smacking them shits to Rogers Park. So
Exactly.
yeah, so I think to go to Scott's next point, there's still 3 Scott Boras clients out there. You got Blake Snell, you got Matt Chapman, and you got Jordan Montgomery. Now, what I've been seeing recently is that Blake Snell and the San Francisco Giants are actually pretty close on a deal. They're much closer than in talks with San Francisco than they are with the Yankees. There was some talk that Blake Snell is not really a big city type of player. He likes to kind of like be kind of under the radar. It
And
might be
that's what San Diego is.
yeah. San Diego. Well, no, he's talking. San Francisco. It's the same shit too. So,
Yep.
So where do you think these guys end up? Do you think the Cubs land one of these 3? Or one of the 2 in Chapman or Montgomery? Where do you think they end up?
Honestly, Chapman might end up back in Toronto. I think they also need him. You know what I'm saying? They definitely need him in that lineup. Snell. I like the Giants move. I think that'd be definitely be solid. I think Snell would be, but Montgomery is the toss up. But it's kind of hard with the Boras thing because now the Cubs kind of exposed it, and now you finna see a lot of contracts like that now. You finna and that's not the Boras way. Boras gets his money. He gets his clients his money. So now, he came with the belly, like, okay, opt-outs. I heard another thing. They was like, Chapman might get the same type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Like a prove-it deal, opt-out this year, opt-out the second year or whatever. But I think Chapman goes back. I thought Snell would go to the Yankees. That's what I think he would go. And Montgomery, I have no clue. I honestly don't.
Yeah, let's go ahead, Mikey.
No, yeah, I wonder why the Rangers aren't in on Montgomery. I seen Boston Red Sox might be in on Jordan Montgomery. You have to, Kike Hernandez said it yesterday. He's like, you got to be honest. There has to be some type of collusion going on here on why these guys aren't signed. There's still over like 80 free agents that have not signed.
Teams are cheaper now. Teams are very cheaper now.
They don't want to pay. So I think Matt Chapman, I think he's a perfect fit for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays have to strike, man, while the iron's hot, because I thought Cody Bellinger would have been a perfect fit for them just off the strength that they only have Vlad and Bo for 2 more seasons. Like, this is their window. They're not going to be able to keep both of them. They're not going to be able to give 2 people $300 million deals. So Dante, what do you think? What do you think on Matt Chapman and those 2?
Like I said, I think Chapman, I think he should come to the Cubs, and the Cubs should go get him. I think these guys are, suffering from being the Scott Boras clients. He's had a monopoly on the biggest players in the game for so long, and he's always been able to drive the market, control the market. And like you said, Boras' guys get their money. But I think overall, like the league, they see that the money and the revenue is continuing to grow, and they're like, well, we don't have a salary cap, so we need to do something to try to push this shit down. And it's like, it's something that has to be done. So, I think it was definitely collusion. There was definitely something that went on with this. And for me, I think, like I said, his clients are victims of that. But I think Chapman and Montgomery, I think the Chicago Cubs should be in on them 100%. You know, I would have said the Braves, but I've seen like the way Chris Sale has looked in the spring training. A lot of people are just, you know, locked in on that, and they already paid him. So that's out of the question. I think you have teams. One team that I really like, and I think, you know, if they added another arm, like a team that nobody talks about too much, but they always make noise at the end of the year, the Seattle Mariners. Like the Mariners, that's a team that can add an arm like that with the way that they put up runs. So it's going to be interesting to see, bro. It's about who's going to spend money, because I think, like we've seen over the last few years, obviously you got your big shots on each coast that spend bread, but people have seen teams like Atlanta, teams like Houston, teams make these deep playoff runs. The Cardinals a few years back, when they were making their runs, basically just stripping the roster down. Like you said, the Cubs strip the roster down, build your prospects up, and you run with your prospects. So a lot of them are trying to go the cheap way. You see teams like Cincinnati and all the prospects they got. You got the Pirates and Tamar Johnson. You got a lot of people that could potentially be stars, but that's the route that a lot of teams are going. So people not getting their bread, you know. So
if y'all see my face looking like this, because I see what the fuck Dan got on in the green room, and I'm fucking dying laughing. We're gonna do Cousin Dan in about 5 minutes. We just got one last topic on baseball. Mikey, let us know what that is.
So we got the Steven Strasburg versus the Washington Nationals situation going on. So for those of y'all that have not been keeping up with Steven Strasburg, back in December he retired, or he announced that he can no longer pitch due to complications with the thoracic outlet syndrome. He's fried. He can't throw. So he still has 2 more years left on the 7-year deal that he signed, the 7-year, $245 million contract that he signed with the Nationals. The Nationals are expecting him to basically show up and earn his money not by pitching, but by contributing in some form or fashion. They want him to. They're expecting him to show up to training camp and help teach the young pitchers. They're basically saying, we have no problem paying you if you come in
and work for that fucking money.
You come in and work for the money. Now, there's the issue of he's still on the 40-man roster. They haven't taken him off. If they want to go ahead and take him off, basically like the next big milestone is opening day. So major league players don't receive their salaries until the regular season begins. So if a compromise isn't worked out between the two, the Nats could technically place him on the restricted list, which would mean they wouldn't have to pay him until he reports. So what do y'all think on that? Do you think Steven Strasburg owes it to them to show up and get his bread, or do you think the Nats are tripping?
I'm gonna be real quick with this. I tell the Nats kiss my ass.
They tripping. I never heard it. Like that's like when Andrew Luck said, "Listen, I'm retired. I'm trying to get hit. Hey, fam, you gotta fucking my money's guaranteed, bro. Like it's nothing in my contract that says, hey, if you one day get injured, I need you to come coach these motherfuckers. Maybe I'm not the best fucking teacher. You like just because I have the athletic ability and the talent, don't mean it's going to correspond to the next person. That's not my job. That's why you hire managers, bench coaches, shortstop coaches, first base. That's what they are there for. I'm here to fucking pitch. I can't do it no longer because an injury. I can't do shit about it. So I have to report it. So I'm just going to be the highest paid fucking helper ever. Like, and I had to report. Man, get the fuck out of here. I never heard the Nationals fuck.
This is shady as fuck.
Move them back to Montreal. They're fucked, bro.
This shit is shady. This is like when you get hurt at work and they try to bring you back on light duty and be like, yeah, nigga, just mop the floor real quick. Exactly. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, nah, bro.
You know what? If I'm Steven Strasburg, I'm out on the field and the ball's coming my way and I'm trying to move and I fucked up my leg. Now I'm getting more money. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like,
let's we on a little bit of time crunch, man. So we're gonna wrap this up, man. We're gonna bring Mikey will join us in about 30 minutes again. We're gonna wrap this up and go into the local hour, but it's time for a special edition of Cousin Dan, man. We're gonna bring Dan in, we're gonna bring Pavy in, and go ahead and Dante, bring in our guests here.
I got you. Hold on, we're gonna do this so we get the big reveal.
Oh,
yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Oh my God, he's the feds. He is the feds.
There we go, Cousin Dan.
Okay, I fuck with it. I thought it was gonna be something else. Okay, I fuck with it. Y'all fuck with it, Dan. Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
I fuck with that. I fuck with
Can
that.
y'all hear me?
Okay, I fuck with it. I fuck
Can
with
y'all
it.
hear me?
I fuck with it. It's the
First
only thing
of all-
okay.
First of all,
okay.
welcome to Cousin Dan, aka the Michael Jordan Hate Hour. Has begun. I wanted to do a special edition of the segment. First of all, Dan, we ain't had you on here in a couple weeks, cuzzo. Glad to have you back on here. I had to bring Pavy in for this. I had to have Mike stay on for this because for those of you who don't be at my family's house for Christmas, which really all y'all niggas, you're about to see what the fuck I be talking about. So I have put a ban on myself and this show with Michael Jordan, LeBron James conversation, but for the sake of entertainment, I'm going to give the floor to my cousin. The floor is yours.
Y'all know who I was. That man is hot as shit. Y'all know who I was. Y'all know what it is.
Sweating, bro.
That man is hot as fuck. Y'all know who it is,
They
dog.
go to glasses. They go to glasses. They go to
Y'all
glasses.
know who it was.
My man texted me today and called me a deadbeat because I ain't go to our daughter
He is.
gym show.
That motherfucker is a deadbeat, but we'll get.
I missed one show. I had something to do. That nigga said, "You here?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "You're a deadbeat."
That's
This is
crazy.
hilarious. That's
Crazy. What's up? What's up, y'all?
What's
What's
going
going on?
What's up, bro? How you
What's going on,
feeling?
man?
I'm
How you
good.
feeling, Dan?
I'm good.
Good, Dan?
I've been
yeah.
watching the NBA the past week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, we
Y'all ready to
talk
get to
about
the
it
first
every day.
topic?
Yeah, let's
Go
do
ahead.
it.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
He's the fucking GOAT. He is the GOAT.
But-
The
No,
GOAT.
G.
Not a GOAT. You see that? Do you see right there? I don't know which side he is in my basement. That motherfucker over there with the crown on behind me. GOAT. He is the
Okay.
fucking GOAT. Did
And
y'all
Dan's
see?
a Kobe fan.
Huh?
And Dan's a Kobe fan. So that
Big
lets you
time.
know.
Big time Kobe fan.
I mean,
Did y'all
Kobe's not even-
see
whatever.
LeBron destroy the Clippers in the
Have you
fourth
saw it?
quarter?
Oh,
Nigga, I
them
was
niggas
there.
was
Yeah, I was there.
I told you I was there.
I
At
saw
39
it.
years
Did you see
old,
them go double overtime with the Wizards last night?
it was a back-to-back. Have you?
It's the fucking Wizards. They're the worst
Hey.
team in basketball.
Hey,
They're not the worst
you
team in
don't need to
Yes,
be
they are.
talking about
They are.
nothing right
What's
now.
the best?
Word on the street, one of your superstars is going back to the ER. From what I understand,
He has a sore knee. Paul
a
George.
sore
Paul George.
meniscus.
Oh, I thought you was
Sore
gonna say Kobe.
No,
No, it's Paul George.
PG. It's
Yeah.
PG.
The same
PG.
shit.
PG.
That motherfucker has a sore meniscus.
Pavy got the nastiest flip on a star I ever.
I
Pavy
don't.
used to be so
First of all,
blind.
I got to defend my man Pav real quick. He is not flipped on LeBron.
I'm not
bro.
flipped.
That man.
He
I
is not-
rock with
He's not
Bron.
Listen,
flipped on
look,
LeBron.
it was
Stop
LeBron
it,
and
bro.
James Harden. That nigga, the only guy I know that went to LA purposely and said, "I'm gonna be a Clipper fan."
I'm a
That
root
nigga
for the
said,
I'm not
fuck
a
fucking
every
Clipper
Clippers.
other-
fan. I'm not a Clipper fan.
Yes, you
Yes, you are.
are.
Hey, listen,
Yes, you are,
listen,
bro.
listen, wait. I still love LeBron. I'm just rational. You aren't rational.
What the fuck? I'm not
You're
rational.
not rational.
You think Kawhi Leonard is better than
He
LeBron?
is in
Why wasn't
2024.
he? Do you know LeBron is 3-0 against the fucking Clippers this year?
Okay, listen, look, great.
Listen,
incredible.
what?
Look, great, incredible. What about all the other years before this?
What championship y'all got? I don't understand.
Okay.
What all other years, nigga?
Oh shit!
Okay, here we go.
What championship
Here we
y'all
go.
got?
Here we go.
You
Here we
you
go.
act like y'all had his history of winning or some shit, bro.
They've been better over the past damn near 2 decades than the
Is-
Clippers. Outside of the 1 year, which fair they won, outside of the 1 year, they've been better since 2010. Literally.
Who
So
The
wait,
Clippers.
so are we
Better
are
at
we
what,
ranking
nigga?
Winning
championship?
consistently.
Winning
They
what?
didn't win nothing. They didn't win nothing.
Listen,
What are they winning?
Okay,
Listen,
Pavy, I gotta say this. They've been better regular season wise, but you
Right,
can't
that's
say
the
postseason
anything.
wise.
It don't
outside of
mean
1
nothing.
year.
No, you can't. No, you can't because they won a
Outside of 1 year,
championship.
been better postseason wise.
Yeah,
outside
outside
of
of
1
the
year,
reason that you play basketball, which is the
outside of 1
NBA
year, better
championship.
postseason
Nigga, the
wise.
Lakers have 17 championships. Y'all have 0.
Okay,
What are y'all better at?
they've been better since 2010 at winning games.
At what?
Consistently.
At
Consistently.
what? Nigga, the
Consistently.
Lakers won a championship in 2020.
Okay,
That
look, hold on.
A championship y'all was supposed to win. That's all we heard. So what the fuck
Okay.
have y'all been better at?
Okay, I got a couple questions.
Okay,
One,
go for it.
okay, I got a couple questions. As you
we,
guys,
we still ain't talked about the game. We gonna get into
oh
this.
yeah, we can
Get
get
to
to
the
the
game.
game.
Get to the game.
We gonna get into the GOAT, but go
Get
for
to
it.
the
Go
game.
for it. Go for
Okay,
it.
this is my question for you. Obviously, you feel LeBron is a GOAT. That's fine. I'm not gonna argue with you on that. But
Mhm.
what about a game in February? against a team, add some context to it, a team that was missing 2 starters.
Oh, you want to go to injury?
Oh,
I'm asking a question.
You wanna go to injury?
Everybody.
Hold on, I'm gonna ask the question.
Okay.
What made that like the defining GOAT thing? That's
Nothing.
the only question.
Nigga, he been the GOAT for the past however many years for me.
I think it's
Okay,
I
thought you said it was Kobe though. You said Kobe was the GOAT.
Kobe's
You and Pavy were front row. Y'all motherfuckers might as well. It was like y'all was on the next building looking at the World Trade Center. That's how I imagine y'all looking at LeBron doing that to the Clippers felt.
Pat,
That's how I imagine.
That's actually not.
We were
no,
laughing
That was
our
y'all
ass off.
9/11 was 2 days ago.
But no, it wasn't.
And yes, it was.
I thoroughly
Yes, it was.
thoroughly enjoyed the game. It was a
Pavy
great
ain't talked in the
performance.
group chat since that game happened, bro.
I thoroughly enjoyed the game.
That nigga Pavy been missing, bro.
That is not true. We had a whole
He been
conversation about
quiet,
basketball
G.
yesterday.
He been
That
hurt,
is not
G.
true.
That
is not
nigga
true.
left Staples. He drank his body weight in tequila at Delilah that night, and he woke up the next day.
It was a Tuesday. We don't do Delilah on Tuesday.
We don't do Delilah on
We don't do
Tuesday.
Delilah on Tuesday.
Angry.
We don't do Delilah on Tuesdays.
That nigga.
But no.
Listen to me, bro.
Can we get to the game?
Yes, let's get into the game.
Go ahead, Pat.
First of all, let me address what Scott said. Okay, because Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt,
I know we're not
Christian
Gabe
Wood,
Vincent
these
play
are
all season.
now. Keep in mind, it ain't Paul George, motherfucker. We've been missing niggas all year. You're not gonna get far with a Lakers fan talking about fucking injuries, bro, at all. Especially when you got a fucking super team. That's what a super team, nigga. You still had 3 Hall of Famers on the roster, and you have Kawhi, who you say is fucking this cyborg. He's so much better than Brown. Why the fuck he ain't been better than Brown this year?
And James Harden
Why the fuck
disappeared.
did Brown like this nigga up
No,
on last possession?
he's
Kawhi could have
James
impacted the
Harden
game.
disappeared.
Why he ain't guard Brown?
He's
Why
better
does
than-
he refuse to guard
Here is
Brown?
why. Actually, motherfucker, since I
Okay.
was in the post game, I can tell you.
Tell
Ty Lue
me.
said that they wanted to switch and they were living with the switch because Brown was missing all that shit in the first half. So they hold on, don't talk. They actually wanted Daniel Tice to switch on him. That's what the man said. I don't
So
know.
how many times do you have to do this?
I don't
Okay,
know.
this nigga catch a fire.
I don't know. That's what the no. They
After
did.
the fifth three,
They did.
we don't
They
think
did.
Brown might be hot at the
I
fifth
agree.
three?
Bro, listen, I agree with you. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just telling you what the man said. The man
Hey.
said they wanted to switch and then they would fire and try to double.
Let
but
me
then
tell you,
they
a nigga
double
like
option
Brian,
Brown,
a nigga
and
like
we gonna find
Brian
an open man.
don't know when his coach is wrong. A real
telling me
superstar don't know.
said, yeah,
This
Daniel
ain't
Tice
working.
is
And
it.
wait,
He gotta
and
switch
wait,
it up.
and wait,
I'm gonna
and
take
wait.
it upon myself.
And wait, he
Pat.
actually did that. The last 2 possessions, he fought over the screen and stayed on Braun.
What
Pat,
happened?
Braun missed
Pat,
the fucking shot.
Pat,
And
look,
then AD got
that's
the
what-
offensive rebound.
That's what he said. We voted the game like this nigga's
What
not
the fuck are
guarding.
you
him.
doing? I
Yeah,
agree.
we said that
I
multiple
was like,
times in the
I was
game.
like,
can't.
what the fuck are you
What's
doing?
not clicking?
I'm
Why
just
y'all
telling
not
you
saying the
what the
obvious? He
I'm just
can't
telling
guard that nigga no more.
Yes,
He
he
can't.
can.
This
He
is
can't guard
not.
him,
Yes,
This is
he
not
can.
Spurs Kawhi.
Yes, he can.
He can't
guard
fit.
the
Okay.
ball. He
Okay.
can guard
He
LeBron.
can't guard him a whole game, G. No,
At all.
No one's guarding nobody a whole game.
At all.
Who guards anybody a whole game?
That's
He
what I
can
just
guard
said.
him.
No one's guarding. That's what I said. No one's
He
guarding
can't
nobody
guard
a
him
whole
But I will say
70%,
this though.
60%. He can't guard the motherfucker. Period.
I will
At
say
all.
this though. To give him some shoot some bail. LeBron did guard that nigga on the last possession. That
And
nigga
he
did
locked
miss
that
the fuck-
shit up.
Missed the
He
shot.
did miss the fuck
He
out of that
missed it.
shot.
He
It
missed
was
it.
loud as fuck when he missed
It
the
was
fuck
good. It
out of
was
that
good
shot.
He said
It
it was
was
loud.
good
Loud
defense.
clank.
What Dirk said? I fell down to my knees. When the law came, I know that's what Pavy did.
This
when
all
Kawhi missed
started.
that
this
motherfucker
all-
Pavy
hey.
fell to his knees.
Pat,
Oh
what
my
did I
God.
tell you? What did I
Oh.
tell you when Brian came out at the beginning of the fourth quarter and he was like, "What's he doing?" I was like, "The game's not over yet." And he dapped up Jay-Z, and then
He
that
dapped
nigga hit
up
a
Jay-Z.
few people
He
a
dapped
bullshit
up
three
G.
up, and then it was
G.
over after that.
He walked
In
over
the
there,
fourth
dapped
quarter?
up Emery. No,
In the
no,
fourth
listen,
quarter.
listen. Before the fourth, he walked over there because he didn't say shit to Jay-Z the whole time. He dapped up Emery, dapped up Hove, went to Ty Lue, dapped up Dante Jones, talked to PJ Tucker, and then proceeded.
That's disrespectful, G.
It was
That's
wild.
disrespectful.
It was wild.
That's
It was
disrespectful.
wild.
Oh,
And
on
he
the
didn't
court.
dap you
It
up.
was wild.
That could have been
It was
you. He
wild.
was dapping up if you ain't switched. If you
Yeah,
ain't
that
switched
could've
up,
been.
nigga.
I didn't.
If you ain't switch
I
up,
did
nigga.
not switch.
Now you
I
taking
did not
now
switch.
you taking videos, sending us video. You an op in that setting.
I did not
That
switch.
You're not wanted
Pavy-
there.
Pavy used to be.
Why you
LeBron
taking
and
pictures of
James are
niggas
crazy.
in places
That
you not
nigga
wanted?
Steph Curry's crazy.
Police?
Steph
I am
Curry's
not
crazy.
Steph
Are you the
Curry.
police? Are you LAPD?
Mike, you don't even
Why you
believe
taking
this.
pictures?
Mike, you don't even believe this. I see in your face you don't believe this. I
Yeah.
have not.
Yeah.
When did
Mike
I
is
become a
trolling.
Steph Curry
Listen.
trolling?
Listen.
When did I become a Steph
Hey,
Curry
bro.
fan?
Hey, this random shout out to my man Thomas, but he said Ben Simmons is gonna be better than LeBron. He should never talk about sports again. That was nasty.
Thomas-
Brown was gonna smack that phone out of Thomas' hand.
Oh yeah, I saw
That motherfucker Thomas was shook. LeBron looked, that motherfucker was he straightened up and said, "Oh, hi, Mr. James." Like, I'm like, I hit Thomas in the DM, like, Thomas, why you ain't talk that tough Tony shit you be talking to us about, Bron? Why you ain't say nothing to him? That motherfucker looked at your phone and you straightened up like you was in detention or some shit. You just got caught. The whole hoops and rules got exposed that night, bro. It was nasty.
Oh man.
Nasty.
Oh man.
Nasty. And this is why he's the GOAT. He's 39 fucking years old.
Also,
Doing that.
hold on, wait.
What was your GOAT doing at 39?
Wait.
Your GOAT was at the horseshoe in Hammond
Averaging
at
20.
39.
Averaging 20. He was definitely averaging 20. We're probably the
That
same
ain't-
the Lakers got right now.
What?
Fuck are you talking about?
Say that again.
Hold on. If the play-in was around, in
He'd have been in the
2002,
play-in.
he'd have been
He'd have been in the play-in. Literally. Probably
Nigga, he
the
would
same
have got
fucking record.
clapped.
By
Kobe
who?
put 55 on that. Kobe scored 45 and a half on your GOAT and took 50 and ended up with 55. He would have got clapped.
Don't about
What
some
you
random
talking
nigga
about?
from the Spurs.
What the fuck is 20 points gonna do?
When the Lakers
So your
played
GOAT,
Eastern Conference,
your-
they wouldn't
basically,
have played
your
Eastern
GOAT
Conference.
was-
Not doing anything because Kobe dropped 55. Because Kobe scored points. He
Nigga,
scored points.
ain't nobody clapped LeBron like that. Ever.
Have you watched the season this year?
Huh?
That's class cap.
Who put 55 on Bron head?
He said ain't nobody putting 55 on.
Who put 55 on Bron head?
A lot. First and foremost, I guarantee you, Kobe did not score the whole 55 on Michael Jordan.
He didn't.
Mike
He
was
didn't.
out
Not
there.
the whole 55 on Michael Jordan.
Hey, Mike was out there.
He
If
was
another
out. He
nigga
scored
out there that
55
said
on
I'm
Michael
better
Jordan.
than you,
was on that whole
out here
head.
getting buckets, if he ain't guard him, that mean Mike had that fear in his heart.
Dan, let's go to your next topic you got on.
Sure. While we piggybacking on Mike, here's my next topic.
Oh shit.
And let's get into that era. I'm talking about that fucking era. I say this shit a lot, but it's true, man. If you look at the 90s, right?
We done
look
with the
at-
90s.
Huh?
We done with the 90s. Go ahead.
Fuck the
Go ahead,
90s. Trash. It's trash. But all right, let me get back on topic. Devin Booker would have been one of Mike's fiercest rivals in the fucking 90s, bro.
Devin Booker
That's
would have been
how
Allen
mid-
Houston in the 90s. And
Huh?
Allen Houston would be the best shooting guard in the fucking league right now.
Yeah.
Literally.
No.
Yeah, bang had to come in.
Allen Houston would be the best shooting guard in the fucking
Hell
league
no.
right now. If Reggie Miller
Okay.
played today, he would break every record.
No, I
Okay.
disagree.
Who?
Because
Who?
why
Reggie
he
Miller.
break every record
Reggie-
in the
Okay,
fucking
can
90s?
I-
Fucking
can I say
did.
something?
He retired as an all-time
Go.
three-point leader, taking 5 threes a game.
Bro,
He was the greatest shooter
can-
ever
bro,
when he
Can
left.
I say
Their
something?
era was
Can I-
so
can I-
Can you
mid.
imagine if he took
Can I
10?
say something?
If you put Devin Booker in that
Hold
era,
on.
him and Mike
Right now,
having epic battle.
Hold on. Time out. Let's get some order in the court. First of all,
Okay.
go to Mike, and then I want to go to Bang. Go ahead, Mike.
Can I get to something? I don't know if everyone saw on ESPN. It was Jay Billis who said it. He's like, why is it in this era of basketball, the people believe this era cannot play with the older era? He said, for example, do you hear people saying Patrick Mahomes couldn't play in the 90s, early 2000s, 80s, or 70s? No, they were like, he would go, but he would still be dominant.
16 concussions.
Do you think Mike Trout can't hit a fucking pitch for Ty Cobb? He's crushing that shit. But everybody, like, Jay Bills also said, like, the 90s, you were like, oh, the 90s, they could compete with the niggas in the 80s, or the 80s could compete with the 70s. But why is it when we bring up the guys now, people say they can't do nothing with the 90s? Like,
But I mean, that's a bigger conversation about eras.
I never
the music now.
If you are a great player now, hear me out. If you are a great player now, greats could play in any era, bro. Greats could play in any era. Are they gonna rough you up and say like it's a foul? Oh, they're gonna clothesline Kevin Durant coming out of it's still a foul. He's gonna hit free throws. Oh, they're gonna hand check Steph Curry. He's still getting to that 3-point line. It's still basketball.
Mikey,
They're
I feel
going
what
to
you're
score.
saying. Mike,
They're
I feel
still
what
going
you're
to do
saying.
it.
I
Go
feel
ahead.
what you're saying. But it's a caveat to that because it's more of the young niggas looking at old 80s and 90s films footage and saying that, right?
Yeah, it's
now,
evolution.
I mean, yeah, it's evolution.
Yeah.
But so I ain't mad at the Devin Booker take. I ain't mad at that at all.
Because it's true.
But it goes to the point, Mikey, that you just made. Like, and that's where the and comes in. Like, Devin Booker would have been a fierce rival of Mike. And nigga, like, no, wait a minute, Pav is like, and so the fuck what? Devin Booker would be Allen Houston in this era.
No.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Before you do that, Allen Houston, before he fucked up his knee, was cold than a motherfucker. And if he didn't fuck up his knee, would be thought of way better than he was now. Because that's also the flip of that is what Mikey said. Players like those players we talking about can play in this era. That's why I'm listening to you say that and be like, wow, Devin Booker will be Mike Fierce's rival.
My point.
Where the fuck is this coming from?
Can I finish?
Is Devin fucking Booker? Is it because he's light skinned? What's this?
Wait. Can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
Evolution, as far as like, the guys these days so much better. Fair, but why do we never count for forward evolution? We never do this. He just said, Allen Houston got hurt. If he gets hurt now, he passed way more than one. You have fucking sports scientists.
Yeah,
way better. Everything is way better. Fucking the training that he would get is way better. So Allen Houston 6'6", 205. Wait. Allen Houston 6'6", 205 in 2000 is 6'6", 215 right now. Bill Russell.
That's still small.
But 2'6", 215 is not small. That's Devin Booker's size. What are you talking about? That's not small.
What? I need somebody to tell me what Devin Booker did last night.
If I could finish
to have this.
Allen Houston's not Devin Booker, but I'll tell you.
Well, yeah.
At all.
In the fucking game was geared toward guard.
Like, what did Devin Booker do to deserve what this conversation is?
Y'all about to tell me that Steve Smith is fucking Jason Tatum in a minute, aren't you?
No, what I'm saying, no. First of all,
Mitch Richmond be a 10-time All-Star right now, though.
I'm only
right. He still be cold.
He'd be a 10-time All-Star right now.
I'm only saying that to say this.
Over all of them, he probably be the best shooting guard in the league. We're in a horrible era of shooting guards.
I can't even get my point across.
Steve Smith is getting over in who?
Because nigga, you said Devin Booker. Like, what did Devin Booker do? Like, what did Devin Booker do last night that made everybody go, oh shit, it's Devin Booker?
What did he do against the Houston Rockets last night?
Like, what did he do to be like, yo? Like,
what did he do?
What did he do last night
when Chris Middleton locked him down the face of this
right, like,
NBA Finals in 2021? Like
what did Devin Booker do to be worth this argument that we having right now?
Wait.
What did he do? No, I'm asking you, Dan. Like, what did Devin Booker do?
I finished my point. You'll get it.
Waiting on you.
Let me finish. Everybody just let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me finish. So I'm only saying that to say him, CJ McCollum, whoever the fuck. Your average two guard in today's game would have been one of Mike's fiercest rivals. That's how mid I think that era is. You can't.
See, Mikey, that's what I'm saying. Hold on. Because that's what we doing here. That's what we doing here. We're Devin Booker. We just used Devin Booker to say if this nigga was on the Phoenix Suns in 1993, he would be going back and forth with Mike, having fights, elbowing, and all of that shit. Why are we talking about Allen Houston? We talking about Allen Houston, nigga. That's why.
Okay. Question. Donovan Mitchell. Hold on, wait. Donovan Mitchell or Mitch Richmond?
Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, you mother.
What the fuck you want? How are y'all? How was that up? Oh my god! Donovan Mitchell will drop 40 on Mitch Richmond's head. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hold on, wait. Bradley Beal or Steve Smith?
Mitch Richmond ain't even got no fucking move. You talking about
that's a lie.
Spot-up shooter.
Oh my!
Richmond was no fucking spot-up shooter.
Nigga. Grant Hill was cooking that era with the most basic crossover ever. Donovan Mitchell, you motherfuckers would think he was doing witchcraft if he did a motherfucking message, bro.
This is true to me. You've never watched a Mitch Richmond game at all. You've never watched a Mitch Richmond game at all. You've never watched a Mitch Richmond game at all.
If you have to meet Mitch Richmond, That just shows you how
Nigga.
mid that era is.
Nigga, you've never watched a Mitch Richmond game in your
Brian
life.
Tracy McGrady is
Like you've never seen that. This Mike. I'm talking to Mikey here. Mikey, Mikey. This is why I said what I said, because we're having debates around shit about players that niggas has never watched the game of. You've never watched the game of Mitch Richmond. So how can you come on here and say anything about Mitch Rock Richmond and you ain't never seen a game of Mitch in his damn prime? You know as hell for this dumbass take, G.
That's what y'all do.
That's a dumbass take.
You don't tell me John Starks is
nigga, listen what I just said. You just said Mitch Richmond is tough. Nigga, you just said Mitch Richmond's tough. And you've never watched the Mitch Richmond game in your life. Like you never watched the Mitch Richmond game in your life, G.
I didn't say that.
Like nigga, look, if we gonna do this shit, let's do this shit right. And let's not fire off some dumbass takes. Let's not fire off some dumbass takes. Just to have a damn conversation, nigga. You've never watched the Mitch Richmond game in your life, G. You never watched a Mitch Richmond game in your life, nigga. Nigga, bring up a name of a player you watched. Bring up a name of a player you watched. You just had a whole ass conversation about a nigga you ain't never watched play.
You yelling,
nigga, yes, because you just had a dumbass take about a nigga you ain't never watched. You talking about Devin Booker and shit. You ain't never watched a Mitch Richmond tape, and you gonna sit up here and bring up Mitch? Let's bring up a nigga you watched.
Come on, man.
Like this is a dumbass take.
This
a dumbass take.
You had a Mitch Richmond poster?
Nigga, it's a dumbass take, nigga. It's a dumbass take.
Richmond so much.
Let's talk about a nigga you watched.
Vernon Maxwell was solid.
He was solid.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's bring up somebody you watch, nigga. Like, come on, man.
I just want to say this. First of all, look, I just want to say this.
Was John Starks was nice too, man?
He was solid.
No,
Reggie Miller
was nice. Yes, he was nice.
Reggie Miller would be the best shooting guard in the NBA right now if he played today.
We keep time out.
Reggie Miller.
Wait, say it again, baby.
Reggie Miller would be the best shooting guard in the NBA right now if he played today.
I would never come on this show again, Scott. I would never.
Get out of here, man.
You give Reggie Miller space in this NBA. That's what I'm saying. Y'all not making sense right now. Reggie Miller with the space. Reggie Miller with the space that he gets right now. He is one of the best shooting guards in this NBA.
I'm calling rank real quick. I'm muting everybody. Y'all niggas is tripping. First of all, I'm gonna say this. Reggie Miller
defensively. Bang, is he getting cooked defensively?
Everybody getting cooked defensively in this league. Everybody getting cooked.
He's giving up a layup.
Like, everybody getting cooked. Everybody getting cooked in the league. Mike, who play? Mike, name me a shooting guard in any NBA right now that plays great defense.
I mean, bro, he's the best.
No, that's the question. You just said he'll get cooked defensively. Who play good defense? Mike, ask the question.
You're absolutely right. No one plays great defense. You're absolutely
So what are we talking about here?
He's playing none of it.
Nobody's playing none of it.
He can't say nothing.
Mike, nobody plays good defense.
Are playing defense, bro. That's
none of them are playing defense. Is my point.
Reggie Miller, the best shooting guard.
Bro, if you give Reggie Miller 10 threes a game, he's going to hit them shit.
Yeah,
bro.
like look. This is all I'm saying. This is all I'm saying. I can feel y'all. I can feel y'all with the takes, but then y'all will say something, and then the shit that you say is logistically wrong, and then you'll be like, "But Reggie Miller didn't cook it. Who cooking Reggie? Who Reggie Miller go like defense? Nobody's playing defense, and then y'all honor the fact that nobody's playing defense.
We just saw Klay Thompson for half a decade. He's the second best shooting guard in the fucking NBA. What do you think Reggie Miller would have done?
Michael Porter Jr. is giving Reggie Miller fucking 80 points.
And he's doing the same thing.
Thank you.
Nobody's playing defense.
Michael Porter Jr. ain't stopping Reggie Miller.
He's not stopping Reggie Miller.
Michael Porter Jr. is not chasing Reggie around him goddamn
He's not chasing Reggie Miller around. Nigga, you tell you another player that niggas is trying to check. Wait a minute. I'm gonna be cool on this one.
Yo, we got
you
but here's the point. Y'all can't bring up niggas getting cooked defensively in this era, especially at the shooting guard position, when niggas ain't even trying to chase Rip Hamilton if this nigga was running around the mid-range. Nobody wants to, none of them shooting guards are playing that. So if you give Reggie Miller room, like we know we do, if this nigga didn't have room and then led the damn NBA in shooting three-pointers, what the fuck you think he gonna do in this era when niggas ain't playing defense?
Man, I just want to thank all of y'all for this week's reel on Instagram. I know exactly what I'm clipping up this week. But let's go.
You ain't gonna do nothing but make us look bad. You always make me look like the villain and shit.
You make yourself look like that, my brother. I ain't make yourself look like that. I ain't did nothing.
You know what it is?
Donovan Mitchell, he fucking Reggie Miller up too.
Oh, Mike, I know your ass ain't never been a Reggie Miller guy. I can tell. You just hate the nigga.
I tell people all the time, I love Ray Allen more than Reggie Miller. I'm just not a Reggie Miller guy. I'm sorry, y'all.
That's fine. I'm not a Reggie Miller guy.
My father is downstairs watching us right now. He's literally downstairs watching us right now. I can tell you right now that if there's an NBA player that this nigga hate downstairs, it's Reggie fucking Miller. Like this nigga will fight Reggie Miller. If Reggie Miller walked down the street right now, my father would probably walk in Reggie Miller's face right now.
Give me the Davis brothers. Fuck Reggie Miller, G.
Since we on the time crunch, y'all, so let's just go to. I know we're gonna get rid of play-in conversation, but I just want to go to Dan. You want to argue Mike about Scramble Boy, as you call Justin.
Yeah, man. Let me. Since we're on a time crunch, man. Look, man. I'm sick of this shit, man. I'm gonna say for the past football year, bro. People like Mike, me and Mike, we text every day, right? And it's gotten to the point where I don't know if it's ego or pride or what the fuck it is, but it's like Mike, and I'm just using Mike as an example. He is totally sold on Caleb Williams coming to Chicago. This, that, and the third. He's saying everything under the sun except the truth of the matter. Justin Fields fucking stinks, and he should not be starting in the fucking NFL. And I'm sorry.
Relax.
What you mean, relax? This nigga, look, what he's not thrown for. I think his height. What was it? 2,700 yards or whatever the fuck it was, bro. 2,700 yards in 3 seasons.
I gotta bring Bang. I gotta bring Bang back for this too.
You won 10 games. 10 games in 3 seasons. Nigga, I can survive.
Hey,
Mike got it.
Admit he's ass, and I'll let it go. Admit it.
Tell me this, Dan. Chase Claypool, N'Keal Harry, Velus Jones Jr., Dante Pettis, Brian Pringle.
He ain't had none of them niggas.
Demir Bird. Hold on. You said I'm doing his whole career. Demir Bird, Marquise Goodwin, Darnell Mooney, Vance Newsome, Allen Houston.
He's the first ever young quarterback with a bad team.
No.
Oh my God! No young QBs have bad teams, Mike.
Dan, what teams are them niggas on?
They're probably not in the league.
Exactly.
They're not in the NFL.
Okay.
They're not in the NFL.
Welcome.
They're coaching flag football right now.
Oh.
Are you kidding me, bro?
Welcome to being a high draft pick in the fucking NFL, Michael. Welcome. It comes with the territory.
Niggas all y'all was looking at me crazy and shit. Talking about Richmond. Look at this shit.
What happened this year? He had some bums this year, DJ Moore and all. Because y'all,
you like Darnell Moore?
What happened this year when he got the weapons? Because you motherfuckers were unsufferable last offseason. Oh, Justin finally got weapons. Oh, he's gonna be the next Dan fucking Marino. Oh, we finally gonna get a 4,000 yards.
His favorite quarterback over there throwing the CD Lamb and shit, and he gonna.
Like, come on.
What happened?
Come on. He told me Dak is fucking Lamar.
He told me Dak was elite. He told me Dak was elite.
Yes.
Dak is fucking elite.
See, yeah, Mikey, yeah. Talk your shit now. Now you're doing this. Now you're doing this.
Dak is elite. We are in the worst era of quarterback we have ever.
Now Mike over there doing
what
this shit.
What is Justin Fields ceiling to you? What do you think Justin Fields is? Is he legit? He gonna be starting somewhere next year?
He'll be starting somewhere next year. He'll be starting somewhere next year. I don't know where, but he'll be starting.
He's a good quarterback to y'all. Can y'all answer that to me?
I think he's a good quarterback. I believe he can be a good quarterback.
Why the fuck is he not staying in Chicago then?
Because you got a fucking the biggest prospect since fucking Andrew Luck. That's why. That's why
y'all could have traded it. Y'all could have got Maserati Marv, 8 fucking first round picks like y'all been saying. Why don't y'all do that and build around Scramble Boy?
Is he generational?
Who?
Caleb.
Yeah, 100%.
So if he's generational, why wouldn't you take the generational player?
Because you told me don't trust my lying eyes and that Justin Fields is elite. So I want to know why y'all ready to get rid of the boy.
You never watched one Bears game all year.
Yes, I fucking did.
You didn't watch the Bears game all year.
FaceTime you several times after that nigga throw them game sealing picks.
See, Mike,
I FaceTimed you and you be like, damn. You either don't pick up or you pick up threatening my family.
We're still arguing with him.
Huh?
Or you pick up threatening my family.
You can't.
What'd you say, fam?
He called Mitch Richmond a spot-up shooter, and we're still arguing with him. He said Mitch Richmond was a spot-up shooter.
I mean, Mitch Richmond had a bag. He was like that.
Man, Justin gonna be solid.
Where?
Hold on.
Why can't he be solid for the Bears?
You're upset because the guy that you love, is going to the Bears, and you have to root for him.
And now you have to root against him. That's all this is. That's all this is.
I ain't got to do shit but stay black and die. I ain't got to do nothing.
And talk a whole bunch of bullshit.
I done turned
you know what? LeBron James is the GOAT.
That I used to like that play for y'all team.
He's LeBron James the GOAT.
Who the GOAT?
LeBron James is the GOAT.
Word?
He's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time.
Thank you.
He's 100% trolling you.
I don't give a fuck. I got it on. It's on tape.
It's on tape.
Don't get mad at me. What was your goal doing at 39, Bang?
Averaging 20 points.
No, he was on the boat.
Same record as the Lakers.
He was at
same record as
It wasn't the same record.
Gee, they finished the season like 41 and 41. It's probably the same record.
That was the one time, and then they finished under 500. Come on, bro. Let's not do that.
And the Lakers are under 500 right now. Yeah, they're like,
they're
okay.
not under 500.
And by the way, I just want to say that. Dan, you said
okay. Let's explain it another way. 39-year-old LeBron, 39-year-old Mike. They play one-on-one. What's happening?
I mean,
if there's money on the line, I'm going with Jordan. I'm going with Jordan.
Right.
Money. I'm going with Jordan. There's money on the line. I'm going with Jordan. What are you talking about? If you throw a kid in Lake Michigan for some money, like I'm not. Yeah,
if there's money on the line, you're going with 39-year-old Mike.
Yes.
The nigga averaged 20 points.
Mike was smoking motherfucking cigars and
he was on the horseshoe.
He was smashing Jenna Jameson. That's what that
nigga was playing big whist.
Right.
Back to Scramble Boy. Y'all thought I forgot though. I need an answer. Why y'all get rid of Scramble Boy if he like that? I don't understand, bro. Why can't y'all just admit the nigga's ass? If you would admit he was ass, I would leave you alone.
He's not ass, but I'll say this: he did not live up to what he's supposed to do.
He is ungood. If he played for any other franchise, y'all would have
all the blame. You give him all the blame. It's more than just him, bro. It's more than just him. Caleb's coming to a
fucking quarterback.
He's coming into a better situation. He's not.
Who is?
He said him, Caleb. He's
a better quarterback though.
He even said that I'm coming to a team that's 7-10. At first he said 8-9, but he's like 7-10. This is not your typical number one pick team. Usually your number one pick team is ass. So if he would have got drafted to the Panthers, Caleb would have been ass.
He'd be looking like Bryce Young.
Exactly.
Like Bryce Young's not a bad quarterback.
No, y'all wrong. If that nigga Caleb Williams was looking at the Panthers with the number one pick, he would have been doing all the shit that we was wondering he would do with the Bears. Nigga would be like, I don't want to go there.
I want to go there. Facts.
I don't want to go there.
He should still do that. He's still not going to win.
What the Bears do to you?
That's what I want to know. What did they do to you?
Can we stay on top?
And man, Mike Singletary take your bitch. Like, what happened?
DJ had career best season, by the way, so it did work. He just got hurt. Thank you, DeMarco. DJ had all that fucking yak that DJ did for Justin. He still can get over 3,000 yards.
Dan thinks two things. If a receiver catches it, they just supposed to go down.
No, I ain't saying that. I'm not saying that.
If the quarterback is getting pressure, he thinks I'm supposed to stay there and get hit.
No, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is that nigga don't know how to read a defense. He takes off as soon as he possibly can. Okay, then why are you not keeping him? That's the fucking question.
Because you answered it.
You answered the question, Michael. You answered the fucking question.
You answered your own question, bro.
Yeah. Why y'all not keeping him?
Because he's a generational prospect, bro.
Cool.
It's a unique
situation. If he's generational, you know the haul you could get for that? You know
what's the point of having draft picks if you don't have the quarterback, bro?
if the Bears were picking number 2, Justin would be here.
I don't know.
I don't know about all that, bro.
I don't know about that, Michael.
Hey, I'm telling you like this: Drake May and JJ McCarthy, those 2 white boys gonna get somebody fired. They gonna get somebody fired, bro.
I don't know.
I guarantee it.
I don't know.
JJ
I'm not saying it. Listen, bro. All you got to do is just tell me if you think Justin Fields is good.
I think he can.
Yes, I do.
I think he can. I don't think he's good right now. I think he can.
Hey, Dakota.
This will be 4 years, man. How many fucking years do we? Y'all run off Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and every other fucking quarterback after 2 months. I wrote them off.
Zach Wilson because
Justin Fields go out there, runs, and that nigga he's the next up.
Zach Wilson went high because on a pro day that nigga ran back, turned around, throw the ball deep, and them niggas said this white boy could throw. That nigga's ass. That nigga.
Okay. So a nigga just running around and just running all fucking day. He's a quarterback.
Run around. In college, he did not run around, bro.
Stop telling me about fucking college. I'm talking about the pros.
I'm just saying that he's not running. Zach Wilson got drafted because he fucking did something in a pro day, bro.
All right, man. I'm gonna pull the plug because we are very over much time. We got some other stuff to do, man.
I got one last thing to say. I got 2 last things to say off topic.
Okay.
One, I need y'all to pray for me. I'm about to go get ready to hoop after this. I ain't hooped in like a few years.
You're not making it.
I'm about to go bust some ass.
He's gonna be Mitch Richmond. He's gonna be a spot-up shooter.
Oh, 100%. Hell yeah. Definitely gonna be Mitch Richmond. So y'all pray for me on that.
Don't be Reggie Miller.
I see there is a Pillars logo on this podcast that wasn't run by me. I need 1 or 2 things to happen. I either need a check written or a box of clothes delivered to my home. Or I can't keep giving out free sponsorship. So we all know that shit is a fucking Ponzi scheme. It's a tax front. So, you know what I'm saying? If the feds come, I don't want to have nothing to do with that shit. They're going to have to work that shit out, or Phil's going to have to cut the check, bro. But that shit might as well be
stupid.
What was that? FTX, the crypto company?
On Twitter, believe in this nigga.
FTX.
Do he really hate you? I'm like, I hate him.
Pillars and FTX is the same shit. It's a fucking Ponzi scheme,
What the
bro.
fuck is FTX?
It's tax fraud. That crypto company.
that crypto.
Same shit, G. Same shit. Y'all work that shit out. But
hey, people,
that
he has a
nigga's a
lot
crook.
of Pillars outfits. He was just in the store the other day.
That nigga's a crook. And I don't want to be associated with the brand when it all falls down. And the fans do the sweep. I don't know Michael Willis, sir. I don't know him.
I hate this nigga, G. I hate this nigga.
Y'all have a great weekend. Remember what
nigga,
I said.
Nigga, my father's down there rolling, fam.
Yeah, I hate that nigga, G.
Go, man.
The 49ers lost the Super Bowl. He sent me a meme every day. And then when it was a shooting, he said, Mike, where are you at? It's not that serious.
This nigga went to the parade and got active,
I
bro.
was shooting up at G. I'm like, come
He
on,
got
G.
active. Then he started threatening me. He threatened my family. I'm like, yo, what up? That nigga told me he had a hollow tip with my name on it, bro.
Where you at? That nigga said, where you at, Mike, right now? It's not serious. Put the gun away. I said, come on.
G.
Right,
I said, come on, G.
That nigga went to the parade and got active.
I need y'all to do two things. One thing when y'all leave, stay in the room so I can save y'all files because I'm clipping all of this shit. So Dan, let them know they can follow you at
Dan_Glorious on Twitter. That's where you can follow me at. Goat man. You feel me?
Mike,
feel me?
Let them know they get to with you, dog.
All right, man. Pillars, all the Pillar stores. We got West Loop, we got Chicago Ridge, and we got Orland Mall. You can follow us at Pillars_club. My Instagram, Twitter, please say the baby. That's POZSAY_baby.
Definitely, man. That was a path. Let them know where they can get in tune with you.
As always, man. Happy World PA. As always, man. Happy World PA. Happy World on everyone on the fucking internet, man. Follow me. Y'all follow me.
We gotta do this again. Bang. Still come through the store, bro. I gotta get you signed up, man. No.
Oh yeah. I've been in and out of town and shit, but no, once we get settled on that.
All right, bet.
We definitely gotta do that. Mike, stay in the room after I ask you out so I can save your files. I'm definitely gonna clip this shit up.
Right.
So,
all right.
So, all right, Pav, you're the same thing with you. So I'll just, exit you out when you're good. So, we're going to bring in everybody else. We're going to wrap this up to do the logo out. Very entertaining.
Y'all were wilding.
Now y'all see Well, what the fuck I be dealing with?
We can't be out here
I'm gonna-
disrespecting Mitch Rock Richmond, man.
I'm going to say,
Mitch
nigga,
Rockridge.
I didn't ate dinner, smoked a blunt. Like,
No, I was mad laughing because Dante was over there smashing. Dante was over there smashing. Now y'all know the shit that I deal with. And this is when my mom would be like, "Why y'all ain't gonna go in another room? Like y'all just loud." She every time it's a holiday. I'm glad everybody can see why I wanted Dan on the show because he's been fooling y'all the last couple months. That's who that nigga really is.
Yeah,
That's what I've been. He's been fooling y'all.
We can't be out here disrespecting Mitch Richmond if you ain't never
yeah, that
watched
was
the Mitch.
insane.
Look, that's why I said that's the only reason why I popped on. I was like, wait a minute. If
Mitch
you
Landon
ain't
was nuts.
You ain't never watched a game of this dude, and we saying this. Oh, come on, man.
No,
That's like me saying Johnny United's huff as hell, fam. Damn right, I ain't never watched the goddamn Johnny United's game. But some old white dude gonna come over the counter and be like, "Yo, boy, you ain't never seen him."
Man, look. So basically, man, we gonna quickly over like what we gonna go over in a local hour, man. So we've got we're gonna talk about more in depth about why Justin Fields trade value is allegedly low. Is the smoke screen? Is there truth to it? We're gonna get into some things that Jay Hood said in his interview. If you missed it, if you follow us on, if you subscribe to the Patreon, the full interview will be up on the Patreon. If not, if you don't, then just get the little clip. We're gonna throw on the IG, on the Twitter, on the YouTube, and then we're gonna talk about what's the chances the Bears can go trade up, get a wide receiver. What are the legit options at wide receiver? And then we're gonna talk about why I think the Chicago Bulls are the funniest team in basketball. 100%. Well, I'm gonna tell people why it hit me the other night. Like these motherfuckers ain't good, but they entertaining, and we'll talk about that in the local hour, man. So if you are not in tune, you subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Barber's Network right now. Get the $5 holler. You can subscribe. We had a uptick in subscriptions there. I appreciate you. My rent appreciate you. Keep supporting the brand, man. We've got. I will say this. Me and Dante are working on this. There's gonna be merch coming very soon. I know I've been saying this shit for a year and a half. And when we getting into the red zone, we got merchandise coming real soon. We're gonna have I'm Not Gonna Hold You hoodies, Barber's Chair Network logo hoodies, and 79th and Hallis hoodies out there, hats, shirts, the whole you dig. I'm trying to get that up by the NFL draft. At the absolute latest, it will be May, but we are very close to getting that out for y'all, man. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Barberchair Scott. You can follow JR Bang at JR Bang. You can follow Dante at October Zone Tay, and of course follow Mikey at Junior_Solito. We about to record this local hour that'll be up on the Patreon tonight. Big shout out to the homie Mike Will for joining. Big shout out to Pavy for joining. My ridiculous cousin Dan for coming on, and of course the one and only Jay Hood. A great interview, man. That was probably the most Jay. I told Mike, I was like, Jay Hood gonna bring it raw to us, man. Like it was good to have him on. Had a good conversation. We appreciate everybody. We hit
shout out to my father watching us downstairs.
Shout out to OG Bang. Shout out to OG Bang watched us, man. We appreciate it. For watching everybody. We had like our all-time high streamers, I feel like, in that first hour, man. So we appreciate everybody for doing that. Even though I have to put this in the Excel sheet, like Bang said. But we hit over 100,000 views last month of the month of February. So I appreciate everybody who watched the clip on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever the fuck you watch anything from the show. We appreciate y'all, man. So we up out of here. Y'all have a good weekend.